So before we start going into how Oyashiro-sama's curse has struck once again this weekend, I just want to say, Matanart, congratulations on being first. Glad you made it back for your walk. Psycho.
From your walk. You made it back for your walk, so you made it back to now go on your walk.
From your walk. Psycho, congratulations on being second. And Dark Lord, thank you for spiting Skinner and being third.
And third. Nice. Welcome in, everybody. It's been a weekend. So
I'll leave the honors to you.
So
it's your family after all.
Oyashiro-sama's spoilers. Oyashiro-sama's curse struck early when my dad sent me a message earlier this now almost previous week saying your grandmother would really like it if you called her every now and then. I was thinking, I've told her so many times, if you want to talk to me, just call me. You know, I don't understand the reason why I need to be the one calling her regularly. I understand some people do that and it's perfectly fine for them, but that's not me.
It's a one-way direction only.
Yeah, if I want to talk to you, I'll let you know. But if you want to talk to me, I expect that you let me know because we're all adults here. Anyway, so I didn't call her. That was a great start. Eventually, my dad sent me a message saying, hey, your grandmother would like to visit your grandfather's grave on Saturday. Do you guys want to come along? And we're like, no, but yes, sure. Seems like the right thing to do. I mean,
moral support.
Yeah, nobody really wants to do that necessarily, I think, but let's do it. So, it's Saturday. We go to my grandmother's place. We meet her. We pick her up. We get in the car. My dad, for some reason, dressed like a complete maniac through the city until we eventually get to the cemetery.
There was already a lot of build-up emotion because he kept bickering with your grandmother too. I think he was a bit stressed about going.
Which I understand. But if you are the kind of person that starts acting differently when you're commandeering a vehicle, maybe don't do that when you're in an emotional state. I'm just saying that for, everybody. That's not the point. Eventually we get there. And then my father, in his infinite wisdom, had looked up the place previously, and he said that online they said they have a parking lot for visitors. Spoilers, they do, but not in the place where he drove.
In case that sounds weird, this is actually the first time we went to the cemetery to...
He had what do you call it? An anonymous burial?
He had an anonymous burial, which basically means there's no funeral for people and they just have a...
There's a lot somewhere.
Yeah, you just get assigned a lot on like this nice open field. And that's where you get buried without anyone there, basically.
No gravestone, nothing. If you have a lot number, you know where it is. But if you don't have that number, you wouldn't know that he's buried there.
And for the longest time, they also, for explanation, they didn't want us to know where he would be buried. Because they don't
ask why.
No, I feel like it makes sense. Because your grandmother explained it to us. When their parents passed away, they always felt like they had this responsibility to take care of their grave, and every single week they went there.
Responsibility, burden.
Burden. Every single week they went there, they watered everything, they took care of the grave. And for like 30 years, they did that every single week.
And they felt burdened by it, so they didn't want the same to happen to us, so they elected to have it done like this, which... that's your personal choice. If you want to do that, be my guest. I understand why you would or wouldn't choose that. Not the point of the story. So, my dad in his infinite wisdom looked up where to go. He didn't look up where the parking lot was, so now we were just stuck in this cul-de-sac street with nowhere to park. Being in this great mood already, he then chose to park in a spot where you're not allowed to park, but whatever, just get a fine. Okay, sure. That was the mood in the group. So
there was a lot of arguing in the car on the way there.
And at some point I just realized, it's okay. I understand emotions are there, and I'll just, be quiet. I can remove myself from the argument. It's cool. So we all get out of the car and my dad walks with my grandmother. Now, my grandmother is 89. She is partially blind and has a hard time walking. She has a stick and stuff. Yeah, and she also has problems breathing. So
she has like this oxygen machine following her around.
When you walk around with her, you know, you do the cute thing with old people, you hook in and you make sure that they're safe. Because, again, she's fragile, she's 89, she has trouble with basically everything, and she cannot see. She's effectively blind. The same way a mole would be, basically.
That's a big hint in case you already hear it coming.
Yes, you need to understand that this woman is 89 years old, fragile, and basically legally blind. So, in their further infinite wisdom, I need a new figure of speech because I keep overusing this one, they just start walking because there has to be a sign somewhere. So,
to be fair, there should have been a sign.
Not the point. So they walk around the grounds looking for a map or something. And at some point I just go, I'll just Google it, you know? Okay, so where do we go? So they tell me the lot number. And I try to Google and I find conflicting information because lot numbers don't show up in the map I found, but I think I found the place. So I tell them, okay, well, because you kept walking without knowing where to go, you walked the opposite way of where we need to end up. So we need to walk back. So eventually we did. And we end up in the area where, based on what little information we have, we thought we needed to go. Now, my dad is walking with my grandmother like this. And the space in front of us is littered with very narrow paths with like bushes and stuff growing everywhere. And there's steps and stairs everywhere. If you've never dealt with a person who is very fragile, effectively blind, steps and stairs are their nemesis. And that's really not good. So, Tifa and I, we see this and we go, Grandma, Dad, please wait here. We'll quickly, you know, speed. I don't want to run at cemeteries. I think that's not the right thing to do. So we'll just, as fast as piety allows us, quickly walk around the area and look around.
We'll try to find the grave while they stood there because his grandmother was already getting tired. So like, you guys wait, we'll find it. Has to be somewhere there.
And we start doing this and we can't find it. We look around everywhere, we cannot find it. We think we get close, the thing we're looking for isn't there. It just isn't there. And that is frustrating because, you know, this is the first time you're going there. There is emotions involved, especially for my grandmother, and you want this to work. So you keep looking harder and we keep looking. And it felt like 6 hours, but really it's been 2 minutes. Until Tifa and I look around and we see my dad and my grandmother walking towards us. And I'm thinking, it's fine, right? We've told the story once of how Tifa basically body checked my grandmother into an Indian restaurant because Tifa didn't tell her that there was 2 little tiny steps in front of her.
I warned her for 1 step, but
not for 2. Yeah,
not for 2.
Because you wanted her to fall, because you hate old people, because you hate my grandmother.
It's not a thought that came into my mind.
Yeah, because it was instinctive to you. It's fine. I love you all the same still. No. And I'm thinking, you forgot hedgehogs, true, and hedgehogs. So I'm not focusing on them because we all know in my family that you need to look after my grandmother. And suddenly I hear Tifa shout and I turn around and my grandmother and my dad are walking down the stairs. And my dad is just looking up and my grandmother...
Yeah, because your grandfather, I realized I did not hear your dad say watch out stairs, as he usually does when he walks with her. So I like turn around, I like shout watch out, staircase. So your dad still responded in time and stopped.
Yeah, and then let go of my grandmother, effectively her falling straight over forwards and full on
She fell down the stone stairs.
And I don't know how far away I was. I want to say like sprinting distance at the Olympics. I lunged. I think I teleported. Next second, I'm there. My grandmother is on the ground. My dad is just standing there like, I didn't see the stairs. I feel the rage. What's stronger than anger and rage? Fury? Wrath? You know, the emotion that if you don't get it under control makes you start a fist fight with somebody. My body is priming itself to lunge at this person and beat the living shit out of him. But of course you don't do that because you're a civilized person and there's a person laying on the ground that needs help. Tifa comes running over from the side and she's just laying there on the ground. She's like, I'm fine. So she responds. She's there, but she fell and she's incredibly fragile. So we start talking to her. We're like, are you okay? Are you hurt? She's like, yeah, no, I think I'm fine. And then we see her left hand. And neither Tifa nor I will tell you details. You can just look at her face. It was bad. It was so bad that I saw it and I turned away to not throw up. I saw it and I knew one thing. This woman needs to go to a hospital right now because that is not good.
There was bone.
Why, Tifa? Why? Why did you have to say that?
I feel like it shows how bad it was.
It was
really bad.
It was capital B-A-D bad because apparently when she fell, you know, your instinct tells you to like protect yourself, so use your arms. Even if you know you're fragile, you still use your arms because it's better than your head.
Her skin is also really...
It's like paper. It's really dry and thin. It's like paper. It's not good for these situations. So now I'm there and I'm thinking, okay, she needs immediate attention, first aid preferably. I don't know what to do because I'm freaking out. I've had first aid courses, Tifa had first aid courses, we have them regularly.
It's easy how fast you forget in situations like that.
Yeah, when you're breathing adrenaline, then yes. So anyway, and I'm like, okay, first thing first, I grab her arm, I slowly pull over to the side. She doesn't say it hurts, so like her arm is fine. I just don't want her to look at it. She can't see well, but I don't need her to see that. It doesn't get better when the person sees the wound. So we slowly get her to sit up, take a break, and when Tifa is like, she fell into the dirt.
There was like mud all over that, like, so I'm like, and your dad was already getting all of the tissues trying to put it on. I'm like, do not fucking put tissue on paper on that. Like, that is dirty as fuck. We need to get the mud out of there. And you're not gonna put tissue on it because that's just gonna stick to the wound.
So Tifa then gets some water from a water pump, poured that over there to try to the best of her ability to clean the wound with not very great water. We put some tissue around that and I told them, please, we need to go to a hospital. Somebody needs to look at this.
I told everyone, don't put tissue paper on it. Do not. Absolutely do not.
And they refused. And
put tissue paper on it. A lot of it.
Yeah. And I just realized that while I was ranting, we got disconnected from Twitch. We are offline. Let's take a short break, try to fix this and then continue ranting.
BRB.
BRB. Oyashiro-sama keeps striking. We should be back online now. Now, what was the last time we actually said while we're live? Yes, she fell. It looked bad. Tifa poured some water that she was able to get over it to try to do some cleaning of her wound. And then...
because there was quite a bit of mud in it and everyone wanted to cover it.
Be ready for the stream before we start streaming.
Wanted to cover it with tissue paper, which is not a good idea because that will stick. But that was like talking to deaf ears.
No, Stop doing that with your hands, that triggers me for some reason. So then my dad, because he's a doctor in his spare time, no he isn't, decided, yeah, just put some tissues over it. So my grandmother and he decided it's best to cover her hand in multiple layers of tissue. Then she said, yeah, but I can't hold this. So he just told her, yeah, just use your other hand, no?
Just press on it, and it's like talking to deaf ears. So please, do not do that. You're gonna regret it.
And I keep telling them she needs a hospital. She just fell. And that is really bad by itself. She fell onto the ground and we don't know what's in there, and that's bad too. And then we poured wonky water over it, and that's not good either. There's plenty of reasons why she needs to see a hospital now. And then she looks at me, she's like, but I wanted to go have dinner with you in a bit, and I have cake at home, and if I go to the first aid, if I go to the emergency room, it will take a couple hours. And then my dad looks at her, and then he looks at us, he's like, yeah, I'm hungry.
No joke.
I ball my fists, I'm about to start swinging, but I'm like, you please drive her to the hospital. No, that takes too long. We'll just get home and put some band-aids over there.
So we're standing there still at the cemetery, arguing among one another about whether she needs to go to the hospital or not. I keep telling them to get rid of those fucking tissues, which also they didn't do. And in the end...
And then they go, yeah, let's keep looking for the lot. And we're like, she needs a doctor to... No, let's just keep walking. So I look at Tifa, Tifa looks at me, and then we do exactly that, because there's absolutely no point in arguing with morons. So after 2 minutes later, we tell them, it's not here. We've checked every single lot, it's not here. Can we now please leave and go to a hospital? We get back in the car and we drive to my grandmother's place.
A band-aid will be fine.
And then I removed myself from the situation because I was actually about to start a physical fight again, the third time today. And then Tifa and my grandmother and my dad spent the next 30 minutes bandaging up the hand.
Yeah, but first there was tissue on it. And just as expected...
No details.
You can imagine how I had to take that tissue off of her hand.
Spoilers, don't put irregular ass tissues on an open wound. It's gonna stick to it. And when you want to remove it, that's gonna hurt. And it's not good. Anyway.
So yeah, it was kind of like, not the tissue bit, but it was... They were like, okay, we're just gonna put a band-aid on it here. We gave up the fight, it's not going to happen. So I'm like, okay, I can treat the wound here. But they have a carpet. This is gonna bleed all over the place. So in the end it was like a do-it-yourself hospital where we had her hand hanging over a big garbage can. So that the blood wouldn't soak into the carpet.
I wasn't in the room to see this. I had actually gone to another room because I wasn't going to deal with this. I told them, go to hospital.
Your dad was annoying the hell out of me while I'm trying to clean the wound as much as I can.
Because he was mad and worried about the carpet on the ground.
So we're like arguing. Everyone is saying how to do it best.
Because everybody in my family is, of course, also doctors.
And I'm still arguing that we should go to a hospital, have this checked. But it didn't happen. So I just bandaged it as much as I could. It looks beautiful, by the way, but that's besides the point.
Trauma team would have said great. Cool, even. Yes.
And I wanted to give the wound a little bit of time to dry. So that...
But no, we had to leave because, you know, my grandfather, he's dead. My dad was hungry.
So was your grandmother too.
Yeah.
So they kept stressing me out to hurry up and the wound is clean enough and just put the band-aid on. It doesn't need to dry. So I wrap it up, but I don't even know all the English terms for the stuff I put on there. And at some point it starts to bleed through. So they're like, how about I take it off and we redo it, we let it dry.
In comes my dad in his multitudes of wisdom. Yeah, just tell her to hold the arm up.
And put more band-aid on it.
Yeah. Eventually, we had her repackaged in a way that we could
It helped.
travel, I guess. So, of course, we went to a Chinese restaurant and had dinner.
Not even before that, because before we went, I basically forced his grandmother to undress in the kitchen. So that I could see if she had more wounds.
Because she had
blood all over her clothes.
And you can't go to a restaurant with blood on your clothes, right?
She had a couple of more open wounds on her legs,
Scratches
but more
compared to her hand.
Yeah, nothing too bad. So that could have been done with band-aid. That we did deal with band-aids, dressed her up again, and it's like, okay, now we're going to the restaurant.
Yeah. Reasoning being, if I now go to the hospital, then it's going to take at least 8 hours, and I don't want that, because that takes at least 8 hours and we want to have food. On Monday, I'll just go to a dermatologist. I've done that before. So we actually go to the Chinese restaurant and...
I was just standing there, hands covered in blood, and it's like, okay, let's go.
Tifa washed up first, of course.
Yeah.
At the restaurant, my dad decides to order 2 starters and then complains that the main courses are incoming. I don't know how that works in the rest of the world, but in Germany, if somebody orders starters, that means the main course will be prepared later, so that the person who has a starter has time to eat it in peace. Generally, unless you specifically say just bring it all at once, which you can do, but he didn't. Anyway, after that we drove back to her place, and then Tiff and I were like, you know what, Grandma? We're gonna go for a walk around the old neighborhood and look for cats. And then we just walked around suburbia for an hour, pretending we were busy doing something else, while I slowly simmered down. Then we came back, after having actually found a cat to pet. It was really cute. We came back, we had cake, and then we went home.
The stupidest thing out of this entire story is the fact that we went along with all of this.
There was no way not to.
So did the trauma team playthrough adequately prepare you? I want to say yes.
Yes, it did actually.
It did.
Yeah, it better than not. We knew where to put the gauze, we knew what to do roughly. Also sorry that the command didn't work because we got heated offline earlier. Now it should, now everything is connected again. But yeah, Katze streicheln.
She called this afternoon and she was like all happy. It's like, oh, it doesn't look infected. Great. Glad to hear.
I don't seem to have an infection. My arm looks normal. And I'm sitting there listening to the message because I didn't get the call. I was doing something. I didn't hear my phone. And I'm thinking, like, if you can see that her hand is fully bandaged from here to here. If you can see the infection here on a wound that started here the next day, it's too late. Like, you'll need to remove the arm. But yeah, she called. She says her arm is fine. She cannot see anything has happened. So she'll just happily, merrily tomorrow go to the dermatologist. Is your grandma Wolverine? I wish. That would be cool. That'd be really cool. Oh, son, you've got adamantine skin. I wish she did. It's as brittle as... I don't even know what. Basically, if you look the wrong way at her skin, it's gonna break. She also bruises super fast. Like if you do this to her, the next day she's gonna have like a black and blue bruise like this size.
I think that comes with age. And then the best part, next week they want to go on this quest to find Grandpa's grave again.
Yeah, having done exactly zero further research into where to actually find the lot.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, I know. I'd imagine just asking, but it's too easy. I hope the story ends with you bitch slapping your dad. This is beyond idiocy. Nope, Psycho. The story unfortunately doesn't. I'm a pacifist at heart and I don't believe in physical violence. But I think Tifa can confirm that this was one of the top 3 closest I've ever been to just lunging at somebody and beating the shit out of them.
Yeah, I could tell in the car.
I was seething.
It's been a really interesting Saturday.
But the thing is, my dad is 62 and I was thinking about that on the way back as we sat in the train to get home. Like, every time I spend time with my father and he does something where I'm thinking, maybe there is something to this person that I can look up to. I have a hard time, and I've had that since I was a teenager, seeing him as my father. He's just a person I've lived with for many reasons, but that takes too long now. But every time I spend some time with him and like, it all goes well. He doesn't say racist shit. He doesn't start picking fights with random people on the street because of boomer reasons, like really peak boomer reasons. I'm thinking maybe we can find a way towards each other, you know? And then every now and then he does insanely stupid things. I mean, yesterday took the cake by far. That is the very dumbest thing he's ever done.
Honestly, I can't even blame him for not seeing the stairs because he didn't see it himself either.
Yes,
from
I can.
The looks of it.
I can. If you.
That was an honest mistake.
No, that's the part where I'm still too angry to accept that. If you walk with a person who cannot see, you need to be acutely aware that you have to see for them. They are in your charge. And especially if you willingly offer yourself into this position, you accept, you ask for this responsibility. You need to look everywhere. You need to tell this person, there are steps coming there, long step down, short step up, whatever. This person doesn't see. You need to tell them what they need to be aware of. And to just dilly-dally around go, no. 100% no. If you're specifically guiding someone who's especially at risk of injury, you need to be paying attention like a hawk. Yes, 100%. So, today's moral of the story is I'm quite happy that I turned out the way I did because look who I grew up with.
It was already really awkward from the start because before we went to the cemetery, he kept making really annoying jokes.
And he kept making the same bad one, which we're not going to repeat on stream because it's tasteless.
Yeah, it was really tasteless, but okay, fine. I will not repeat that.
Especially after my grandmother, very early on, after the death of my grandfather, had said that she had this specific scenario as nightmares for weeks. I took this off too early, I'm sorry. Now I'll put it back off, and then we'll actually be good.
So yeah, it was an extremely interesting Saturday.
Yeah, so today, Tifa...
But, before we go into today, I have a new hobby at home. So after what was already a shitty week and a very shitty Saturday, we went camping. Which
we
was
didn't
lots
go
of
camping.
It's basically camping. Jack hates camping. I have fond memories.
I've never been camping.
You hate the thought of camping.
I hate the concept, yes. I hate Tifa's concept of camping, which is to go somewhere in the more or less wilderness, maybe have some sort of organized shelter, but to use communal washrooms and such.
That is the way.
And
it's no fun if you don't get up at 4 a.m. in the morning and you have to run 10 minutes across the camping lot to find the bathroom.
no, it is fun knowing I don't have to do that. There's absolutely nothing that makes me want to take communal showers with most likely other old people. I don't need to see what they swangin'.
I have fun memories.
Good for you!
Camping once in a group for a few days, shooting in a portable loo like a savage.
Tifa is, I think, more of a digging the hole kind of person.
I don't know, they're like actual buildings.
Okay. So, sounds like you don't like camping.
I'm gonna call it camping, but basically we compromise. And now when I want to go camping, we get the airbed out of the closet.
We have an air mattress for when like her family or somebody comes over and they want to spend a couple days here.
And we like clear the living room, like put the table aside, make some space, and then we blow up the airbed in the living room, in front of the TV, and then we sleep in the living room on the airbed. And it kind of feels like camping.
I'm super happy that Tifa is so incredibly easy to please and that she's this happy with that.
So we had a hot chocolate.
I don't understand how this is like camping. We're in the same apartment.
We had a hot chocolate. We watched the Alien movie.
Yeah, Alien.
We were sleeping on the airbed in front of the TV. I mean, is it camping? No, but it's a compromise I can work with.
It feels more like a sleepover.
Or a sleepover, I mean.
But if you think about it, isn't living with a significant other like having a sleepover every night?
I guess.
Because
and it's still different.
I don't know, I feel like I get to have a sleepover with my best friend every day.
Aww. It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
except I don't always make you hot chocolate at night.
That is true. What I'm saying is it was a very nice closure to this week.
Anything is a nice closure to that hell wreck of a day. If I had stepped on a rusty nail, it would have been the highlight of the day.
And I gotta say, the Alien movie was actually pretty good. I've never seen any of them. So now we started, it's quite nice.
Alien is a pretty good movie, I think, and I hate horror movies. But I like that one. To level up, you need to mini project a starry night sky onto the ceiling. Mortimer, one step ahead of you because I have 2 mini projectors showing me the stars and I get to call them Tifa's eyes.
Oh, very smooth. Very smooth.
Feel free to steal that one.
But yeah, that is cute. It's kind of like, you know, when you're young, I don't know if anyone, I'm pretty sure most people did that. Like you go make a bed fortress under the table, then you cover it in bed sheets so that you have this like completely closed off little room.
Make like a cave.
Get like a pocket light along. Yeah, you have like this cave, lots of pillows, and then you sleep under the table for a night in your fortress.
I've never done that. I'm pretty sure I would have loved to do that, but my parents wouldn't have let me.
I would offer to do it, but our table isn't big enough for us both to sleep under it.
Yeah, plus it's like a solid table because you can put stuff inside. It's not like there's space underneath.
I was thinking of the dining room table, but even that is not big enough.
We just need to get smaller.
Or that.
Time to lose some weight so we can sleep under the table for fun. I don't know. Isn't that a, like, there's an earthquake, hide under the table kind of thing? I've never been in an earthquake, I wouldn't know.
So yeah, if you want like a change of scenery in your own house, I absolutely recommend doing that.
Yeah, go camping in your living room. I guess. I don't know.
Well, I thought it was nice.
But Tifa now spent the rest of Saturday evening and all of Sunday getting me nice and relaxed again. We had donuts for breakfast, that was nice.
Very nice.
I made a nice dinner earlier and we watched the second Alien movie, Aliens. Not as good as the first one, but still not bad. And now we're here. Now we get to stream video games.
Tomorrow we're gonna watch 3. How many are there in total anyway? I saw a lot, but...
Too many, I think like 8 by now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Including like, technically are the other spin-offs? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I hope our internet will be stable for the rest of the night. That would be nice. But hey, Oyashiro-sama's curse. What better stream to have technical issues of that magnitude than a Higurashi stream? Always see the positives, right?
As a kid, I tried reading under a blanket with a flashlight. I got stuff in really quick cartoons lights, but yeah, same. If you just go under it, especially if you have glasses, it gets foggy and you can't read anymore, and it's like...
I want to say the trick is to either move your head or like your legs in a way that you exchange the air around you. Like if you hold the blanket with your hands up like this, if you do this, like when you do this with your shirt, you know, try it again tonight. See if it works. It's supposed to protect you from falling in rubble. Thankfully, we don't really have that here, and I hope it stays that way. There's too many alien movies. Even 3 is the start of a decline. I was gonna say, I think 3 is one that the most people still recommend you watch, and then after that, maybe not so much.
I'll watch all of them for the heck of it.
3 I'll watch with you, but after that I'm out.
Well, that's fine. We can watch 3 tomorrow. But a lucky thing to still...
Double finger guns.
After yesterday, Oyashiro-sama has also blessed me.
That's not Oyashiro-sama.
Probably not, but something did. I started a new save file of Pokemon Scarlet. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make it extra challenging for myself. And I want to do a shiny run. Like, with the exception of my starter, I want my entire team to be shinies.
Because Tifa is too lazy to actually commit to the part and grind for a shiny starter.
You can't even get a shiny starter.
Can you not?
There is no way you can get a shiny starter.
Oh no, the starters are actually shiny locked. Okay, fair enough, I take that back. Tifa did, of course, do her research. She looked this up before she started doing this. So the one non-shiny Pokemon she has to deal with is the starter Pokemon.
And I was like, you know what? I've been running around for like 2 hours already in like the beginning area. No luck yet. So I still have my starter Pokemon. And I was like, to break it up a little bit, I'll just do some trading. So I caught one Pokemon,
those mystery trade thingies where you get a random Pokemon a stranger has just put into the ether.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna see what I get from it. So I catch a Hoppip, I trade it away, get something back. I trade that one, and on the second trade back, I get a shiny Totodile from someone. A shiny Totodile on my second trade. I'm like... That, like, never happens.
Why can't you do that when you buy a lottery ticket?
On my second trade. That was so nice. So now I have a shiny Totodile. Which is my first shiny too, I didn't catch it myself.
Is it legitimate then?
Oh, honest, I did not set the rules that I have to catch it myself, so yes, shiny is shiny.
If there's one thing we learned throughout our countless Pokemon runs, don't overthink the rules too much. Because if you make them like bulletproof, it's not gonna be fun, then it's pages of rules. Just go with the flow.
I then tried my luck to see if I could get more, and I think I did like almost like 50 trades with another Pokemon I caught after. No shiny now, but on the second trade, shiny Totodile. How lucky is that?
Well, after this weekend you deserved it.
Right, that's what I do. That was so nice.
You know what's also nice? Tifa giving us a recap for Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 3 Tatarigoroshi, episode 2.
What do you keep... Oh, that's what you had there. How do you keep remembering?
It's the game title. I'm reading it off because...
Yeah.
Memory.
I see it up there now. The last time we played, Keiichi had run his mouth on who is the better cook, him or Satoko, which obviously would have been him, which turned into a club activity on who could make the best bento.
A bestento.
Yes.
That needs more work.
but nice try.
I had the idea, I needed to commit. Okay, carry on.
But it's okay, nice try. So the day has arrived, we all came with our bentos, and...
The day didn't arrive.
Oh yeah.
No.
We started
The best bento.
with coming there for the bento. The rest
Exactly.
we all did the previous day. Or the previous stream.
Our bento was the leftovers from the dinner that Satoko and Rika-chan... Satoko had cooked for us when she and Rika-chan had come over. And she even packed it for us. Like, I think I just said, but I'm sure so I said again.
That I was gonna go into after. But yeah.
Oh, sorry, carry on. It helps if you do it in the order the things happen.
Well, no.
Carry on.
I don't think that mattered. So we came there with our bento and we decided to get a winner, because how would we rate this? We would get the class involved and they would rate based on how it would look. And don't forget, the loser had to tell our teacher Chi-sensei that curry sucks.
Which is a factual lie, but that's neither here nor there.
So the stakes were high. So we started off with Mion's bento. It looked like this royal feast.
Mion's looked like it was made by a 5-star chef, which seems...
We didn't get to see it, but that's the description.
Potentially fishy, but whatever. I'll accept it.
So obviously great scores. Reina, also great scores. Nothing unexpected there.
Imperfect, but clearly made with love. The stakes were high, the curries were higher. Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Then it was up to Satoko and Rika to show their curries. And Keiichi was already quite surprised because they've been with him the entire night.
When would they have had the time to make their own bentos?
Turns out they basically took half of the bento of 2 of their classmates who keep returning every chapter as well.
The 2 boys that have crushes on them.
So they presented that. And obviously also didn't look perfect, but, you know, made with love, all fine. Didn't seem to be the worst. And then it was our turn. And we got shat on.
Mion specifically kept shitting and shitting and shitting on that bento. It looks crude, the cucumber is cut all wrong, this looks just like canned stuff, just smashed in there, it's horrible. And Keiichi kept defending it, not necessarily because he wanted to win, but also because Satoko made it, and we had that heart-to-heart moment. And like
Satoko was kind of sad about
was like half crying, like, yeah, it's the worst bento ever. Look at it, it's store-bought and stuff. But he kept defending it.
And it was really sweet.
It ended up becoming this like Ace Attorney-esque situation where Mion became the referee / judge, and like Keiichi had to debate like Phoenix Wright would, like, no, the spirit of a bento matters, not just the taste, and this has all the spirit. Eventually, long story short, he won, not because of all of his arguments, but the deal was we are going to rate who made their own bento the best. And by those rules, Rika and Satoko are automatically the losers because they didn't make a bento.
He only
they
threw
took half
Rika.
of the boys.
He only threw Rika under the bus,
True.
not Satoko.
Not Satoko, but Satoko gave herself up and said, yeah,
Rika took it and was like, oh, this is nice, I'm the loser, I accept it. And then Satoko was like, oh no, I did the same thing, I also took half of the bento, so I also lost and went with her. And then we ended with Keiichi going, I also have something to confess. Because obviously he didn't make his own bento either.
No, he didn't say that yet. It seems like he is about to.
We ended at the line, I have something to confess.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't recall.
Which will, seeing how we were talking about not making our bentos, here, I'll come clean too.
I can already see the first message, yes.
This is line.
As
so
we are potentially about to come clean and give ourselves up to, we will resume the game.
Exactly. And now I'm guessing all 3 of us will go to Chi-chan. Chi-san.
Chie.
Chi. And that's it.
I think. Yeah, that's about it. You ready, Tifa?
I'm ready.
I am awfully warm. All of it ranting at the beginning of the stream. Running around trying to get the router back on. Did a number on me. Now, video games. I'm.
Oh wait, you didn't change the comment yet.
I was told not to after asking.
Oh.
Unless you still want me to, then I'm happy to do it. But yeah, I'm really warm. Mion, I'll come clean too. I didn't make my bento today. I was the same. So I'm going with them. For the punishment game. Everybody cheated.
Even you, Kei-chan? Oh, what's going on?
I have a strong feeling that Mion also made somebody else make her bento. Maybe a chef that is part of the Sonozaki clan.
Well, Reina was convinced she made it herself. But she was not convinced that we made it, so she seems to have a good...
Yeah, Reina knew by looking at it. Again, she's a food detective.
Yeah, because she knows how Satoko makes lunches, and she was like, "Oh, you also cut your cucumbers
so
like
we did
this
forget
and not
something
fully true." Yeah, that's not important.
Reina was super cute. She's like, yeah, it looks like the ones that, Satoko would make. But
she only said that to us, by the way.
Yes, with Satoko being an earshot. And then Reina gave tips to Satoko on how to make the bento better next time if she wants to. But specifically only telling Keiichi. Like, you best cut the cucumber like this. It was quite cute.
Good luck. With the punishment game, I mean. I'll get the first aid kit ready.
Call an ambulance in advance, will you? And maybe a hearse, just in case?
It's okay, I'll wait until Monday and just put a band-aid on it.
Too soon.
No.
Too soon, Tifa. Leaving a bewildered Mion and a happily smiling Reina behind in the classroom, I went into the hallway.
Oh, what are you doing? You finally won for once.
Advanced feelings. I like that.
I had no idea you had such an odd taste for these punishment games that you'd go so far as to volunteer yourself for one.
Guess so. That's a little much for a hobby, eh?
I swear, I think you're underestimating this one. We're wanting, but grave harm might actually befall you, Keiichi. I hope you're ready to have 1 or 2 ribs broken.
When the line first said, I swear, I know that wasn't gonna happen, but somehow this really dumb part of my brain thought if I now press enter, the next word is gonna be fuck. No, I swear.
I swear fuck.
As in, I will swear? And say a swear word?
No, if anything, it had to be followed up by digger.
It was funny in my head until I shared the thought with Tifa and then she made it unfunny as hell.
Yeah, because it wasn't funny to begin with.
You weren't funny to begin with.
So the digger would have been...
Nobody says that outside of Germany.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I swear. Crap. Yeah, like that, exactly. Thank you, Dark Lord. You understand what was going through my head. Why can't you be more like Dark Lord? Sounds like it would hurt. I don't like getting hurt.
Keiichi-san, you just stand there and nod along, okay? Rika and I will smooth it over. I swear.
Fuck. See? It is funny.
No, it's not. Gonna wash your mouth with soap. That
I probably should.
seems like a punishment that might actually have been...
That sounds like a Hinamizawa thing to do.
done at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
I can't believe I have to look after you even during a punishment game. Seriously.
I already knew that her pouty behavior was a sign that she was actually in a really good mood. So it made me want to smile. Hey, I do want to eat some vegetable stir fry. Satoko, can you make that?
What? Well, there's nothing I can't do if I put my mind to it.
Ooh, made a very nice ring. Yep, look at it. It's like a tower. of 2 hairbands.
Yes, beautiful. Refocus the camera, please. I'm sorry for her behavior. I too am waiting for her to read the line.
She can make it very well. I really like Satoko's stir fry.
She was uneasy at first, but once she got assurance from Rika-chan, she turned back and looked at me with once more confident eyes. It's settled then. Let's go shopping for stuff after school today. I don't really have any idea what to buy after all. Well, to make a stir fry, you need something to stir and something to fry.
Might want to go for home delivery.
Yeah.
After what they're going to do.
That is true, isn't it? I think it's still too early for you to go shopping at the supermarket, Keiichi-san. It would make me anxious if I wasn't watching.
Well, a stir fry is you put it in, you do stir, then you fill it with salad oil, and then you
to
fry
the brim, and then you put on fire underneath. Yeah.
And that's it. It only says stir.
Yeah, exactly. It's not keep stirring while frying. It's stir fry. Yeah.
You stir, and you fry, and then you eat.
Yeah. Unless your name is actually fry, then you just stir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Instructions are very easy.
Don't do that at home.
And Satoko makes me anxious that she'll buy the wrong thing if I'm not watching.
Rika!
Meep.
The conversation continued as we walked until we arrived before the door to the teacher's lounge. Okay, let's get this punishment game over with and discuss the menu for tonight.
Meep.
Rika-chan gleefully grabbed onto my arm. In turn, I pulled Satoko to me, grabbing her shoulder with my other hand. We'll all be together in death. I won't let anyone die alone.
We're all together. I won't let anybody die alone. This is a good time to sing... What's that song? And we all go down together.
Yeah, I never liked that song.
Curry sucks. Yes, it does. What?
Next week, only solo streams.
What an indiscreet thing to say. I want no part in something so disturbing.
I agree with her for once. She may have sounded annoyed, but she was so happy it was gonna make me blush. Alright, just beyond this door is the world after death. However, we shall return. All of us will.
That time I told my teacher curry sucks and I got reincarnated
As a slime.
as a potato in a different world.
As a potato in another world's curry. And then learn to love curry. Yeah.
Yes. Everyone will. Then let us sally for.
I cannot see anything but the curry box right in the middle of the screen. On the shelf.
Are we not gonna talk about the lamp stuck to the lamp?
That's cute, but there's what I think is an instant curry box in the middle of the screen, and it's adorable because it looks like this Japanese housewife is about to eat this curry and she is so thrilled. She is so happy to see this. Adorable.
I'm slightly confused by the 2 glass jars of garlic and mushroom.
Those are for the curry. Those are ingredients.
Raw.
Yeah. All ingredients, or oftentimes ingredients are raw before you cook them.
Yeah, but if you have a instant curry package, which I'm not sure if that even is that, why would you have mushrooms and garlic?
To add them to it. The same way we sometimes buy a package of ramen and then throw other ingredients in to make it more luxurious.
Yeah, but that seems odd to throw in like that. Well, okay. They might be freshly grown at school, that is fair.
That as well.
They have a vegetable garden, true.
Exactly.
Slam.
That was the weakest slam you've ever done. Do it again.
Slam.
Slam. No energy whatsoever. Slam. We opened the doorway to the world of death. And like she did every day, just as the sun rose in the eastern sky, Chie-sensei was eating curry for lunch. It was store-bought, but she made a point of eating a different brand every day.
This is where you go, oh, it stinks in here.
Oh, it's just cheers.
Letting students slave for fresh veggies. I think that's kind of smart.
If I could get away with it, I would do it too.
Same. Oh my. Maebara-kun, Furude-san, and Hojo-san. Is something the matter?
She appeared to be in the middle of a moment of supreme bliss, her mouth full of her beloved curry. And we were to pick a fight with her. What a crime this punishment game would be! However, it was what we had to do. For that was the rule of our club. The three of us held each other's shoulders tightly once more. Alright, let's do this. Ready?
No.
What do you mean, ready? Keiichi-san, you're going to stay quiet. Rika and I will handle everything. Entrust your life to me for now.
Go for it. Yay! What are you all doing?
We could see 2 or 3 question marks popping up above the teacher's head. Stop struggling, we're facing death.
Okay.
Alright, Satoko.
Can we do this?
This is the only time I'll trust you with my life. Because I'll be shutting my eyes tightly and only thinking about what we'll be having for dinner. I'm leaving it to you. Satoko inhaled deeply. And so...
Hey, you over there. You stuck-up curry snob. You're single because you smell like garlic.
Okay, that's awfully rude.
That's not where I thought we would go, actually.
We didn't insult Curry, they went and insulted her. And I think that's worse.
It really is?
Much worse.
I thought they would go after the curry itself. Chi conjuring.
Yes, question mark runes above her head. That's the power of metaphysics.
Like, this is something you will get into more trouble for than just going, hey, your curry stinks, it looks like it sucks, just like all of the ones you always eat.
You know, when you are at work and you have a shared break room with like a microwave or something, and then some smart person takes fish for lunch to work, and then they reheat the fish in the microwave, there's a very specific smell that creates.
And it lingers.
Why not go for something like that? Hey, all the curries you're having really makes this place stink.
Did no one ever taught you how to make tasty meals?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, for somebody who says she loves curry so much, you're not even making it yourself, you're just buying the store-bought stuff. You know,
no, that's also, that's not insulting curry.
That's personal, but at least it's still about the curry. But I don't know, they kind of went with one of the worst possibilities. Huh?
I thought you said unfortunately, never smelled microwave fish.
Fortunately. Be happy. I did twice, and
I do quite often. I have several colleagues that like to bring fish to work.
In aquariums? In aquariums? Maybe somebody came in with a goldfish.
In Tupperware
I couldn't find
boxes.
a sitter. Wow. I have an infamously poor sense of smell. Okay, but I also like how fish smell.
I'm not a big fan.
It doesn't smell like fish, it smells like you should be going away from wherever that smell comes from. It's not great. You were saying something, sorry I cut you off.
No, not really. I just said I have several colleagues who like to bring fish to work. So I do know the smell.
In the end, my selfish request was readily granted. As Satoko muttered complaints under her breath, quite merrily, she came with me to the store. Rika-chan didn't come with us. She said she had a thing she wanted to do or something. I believed her when she told me, but when I really thought about it, I started to think maybe she was being considerate towards Satoko in her own way. Without Rika-chan here, Satoko was prouder and more loquacious than ever. What does loquacious mean?
Self-confident, I do not know.
Loquacious is when you're being loqua.
I have Talking a lot.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We couldn't just say talkative or talk active. Or
Talk active is not a word, it's talkative.
Talkative then. Figured you would complain about that too. Like it's not ladle, it's ladle. Actually it's not ladle, it's ladle.
It's ladle, Tina.
It's ladle. It's the same thing.
It's only ladle in Scotland. Talk active should be a valid word.
I feel like it should too, but still. Why can't you just say that? No, 12-year-old will say, what was it, Loquacia? No, that's the name. Loquacious.
Loquacia. Loquacia is like alopecia, but it doesn't make all of your hair fall out, only like the fringes of your eyebrows. Latiferous. Yeah, like Latifah and Farrell, so she's latiferous.
Basically. Now stop being so loquacious.
Loquacious. Also, for how much we're talking, we should have known the word loquacious. I'm just saying.
No 12-year-old will use that.
We're not 12. Keiichi is like 15 and is the soul of a poet.
Do you understand? Supermarkets will put things on sale when it gets near closing time. For example, you can't have a stir fry without some pork, and if we wait a little longer, it will be marked half off.
I wish our supermarket would do that.
Yeah, over here it's really weird. Some supermarkets don't like price down stuff like that at all. Others do. Others just make all items like a flat 30 cents, which is like super cheap for most things then. And even others, like in the morning, they go through the store. They take all the stuff that is going to go bad the same day or the next day, and then they just mark it down and put it into this like one corner in the store.
But it's never like towards the end of the day. Usually like in the morning, if you're lucky, you have something with a sticker when they went through it, or like during the day, depending on when they go through the shelves.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the same thing, but I guess it all makes a difference with like when you actually get to go to the store.
In our supermarket, rather throws everything away.
Yeah, we
putting a bloody sticker on it.
We still went shopping yesterday evening, and we walked through the store, and there was a whole cart filled with things that were, I guess, about to like hit the best before date. So I just took them all and trashed them. It's like, why not just make them cheaper? I'll be happy to buy them.
Especially if it's something I can chuck in the freezer or I'm going to use today. I'll buy it.
Oh well.
But that's a different thing.
They can't sell meat or fish once it's not fresh anymore. So they make it all cheaper in a last-ditch effort not to have anything left over. Of course, every veteran housewife is familiar with this concept, and when we get close to happy hour like we are now...
And I wasn't really listening to her, but she was telling me all this quite proudly. Every time I seemed surprised at something or made an affirmative grunt in place of conversation, Satoko would say, "You don't know anything, do you, Keiichi-san?" and smile very happily in spite of her complaints. She led me by the hand to all sorts of stalls, one after the other. She was in such a supreme mood that just being with her cheered me up. Merely being pulled into Satoko's pace was a lot of fun. Hey, why don't we just go with this economy-size pack? Whoa, there's a real good-looking one with cheese in it over here. Cheese.
Keiichi-san, you have no financial sense. Look at this. It's over our budget. We don't have enough money.
Satoko pushed a handful of receipts in my face. Why can't Satoko do these kinds of mental calculations when she's at school? Drat. Should we buy a load of the normal ones or buy a few of the better stuff with the cheese in it? This is quite troubling.
The troubles of a budget.
Calm down. For boys at your age, it's wiser to choose quantity over quality.
Satoko, you're being too strict. A man's heart desires both quality and quantity. Why can't you understand that?
No matter the size of a man's heart, his wallet won't be any bigger. I swear. Hey, stop clinging to the glass so stubbornly.
After enjoying ourselves in such an exchange, we started to hear energetic voices coming from over by the butcher we visited earlier. I could see a handful of housewives flooding the place.
Oh no, we're late. Oh no! If we don't hurry, all the half-off pork will be gone.
Ow, ow, ow! Don't pull me! Don't pull on my neck! Isn't she like 3/4 his size?
I love supermarket bargaining. Bargaining. So much fun.
It's not bargaining, you're not like haggling.
You kind of are.
What was that sound you just made? Because what I heard was, hang on.
You kind of are.
Oh, that is a lot of abbreviating your mouth did there on the way out.
Sometimes I need to open my mouth.
Just communicate in sounds from now on. Why many words when you can just grunt a sound? Exactly.
Little words do well.
Like loquacious.
That's a big word. That's why we go for loquation.
Satoko really seemed like she was having fun. She looked like a kid who had grabbed her family's hands while running towards an amusement park attraction. In the end, the bag of pork we obtained was so normal that it almost hurt, but I knew that it would taste absolutely delicious. Outside, at some point, the cicadas had been replaced by the Higurashi's chorus. Wait, did you all lie to me? I thought Higurashi means cicada.
Different type of cicada, maybe.
I guess. I'm confused. The air was so clear and it felt so good. Our silhouettes stretching out on the ground made for a really wonderful picture. It's a specific sort of cicada. Okay.
The
I may have forgotten that.
Grasshoppers' chirps got replaced by the grasshoppers
They're not
crying.
grasshoppers.
It's basically saying the same thing.
Cicada, potato.
No, patata.
Yeah, potato, that's what I'm saying. My pronunciation is just slightly off. Thank you, I did not actually remember that, but I'll take it. We had filled our bicycle baskets to the brim with our shopping bags. They only contained ingredients and various other foodstuffs. Even so, every last thing packed in them sort of looked really happy and made me feel really happy in turn. Now I'm getting really hungry actually.
I love it when my half-priced pork smiles upon me.
Like, oink. Going shopping for dinner seems pretty sensible too. Makes you really enjoy your meals. I can't wait to eat.
That's a part of cooking for yourself as well. Dinner starts while you're shopping for it.
I'm so excited for this. Vegetable stir fry isn't even in my mom's cookbook. I never get to eat it unless we go out to a Chinese place, so I'm really looking forward to it today.
That is indeed a pity. Then today I will present to you an especially tasty dish.
Normally, right about now, was the time I would start messing with her. But I didn't. Yeah. I bet you'd end up making something really great. I'm really looking forward to it. She stammered for a second. Satoko had been prepared for me to start making fun of her right then too, and when it didn't come, she was so surprised. Maybe she stammered for some other reason? I don't know. But I immediately knew she wasn't feeling anything bad.
Yes, I'll deliver an extraordinarily delectable dish. You better look forward to it.
Not so loquacious now, I.
I was just thinking that this is too loquacious.
As Satoko and I rode back on our bikes, I had a thought. Was I this sort of person? Until now, I would have lashed back at Satoko right away if she didn't do something to me.
No,
if she did something to me.
You didn't do something to me.
Yeah, that was the kind of relationship we had. We would poke at each other a little, then kick up a storm while nitpicking at one another. At some point, that had changed. We weren't playing our usual tit for tat. I didn't provoke her, so we didn't fight. That went for Satoko too. Satoko, who I thought I knew, hadn't been like this until now. Our relationship was changing little by little. That's what it felt like. But it wasn't something I had to worry about. It was like our relationship had become a little bit happy, a little bit more charming. I wonder why we changed like this. Was she lonely and projecting her older brother Satoshi, who hadn't returned home, onto me? Rika-chan told me about that yesterday. That was probably exactly it. So, as my actions drew closer to Satoshi's, Satoko was returning to how she'd been when she was living happily with her brother. In other words, this Satoko was the real Satoko. Satoko had been able to see her brother again and had finally gone back to normal. Now that I'd been playing the role of her brother, I'd discovered that she really could smile so sweetly. But I wasn't Satoshi Hojo. I was Keiichi Maebara, a totally different person.
That's why I feel like he's assuming a bit too much here.
I couldn't become her brother. I could come close, but I could never really get there. That was vaguely, somehow, a little sad. I was wearing Satoshi's mantle, and that would have to come off one day. And that would doubtlessly put an end to this meager, nostalgic, peaceful time of Satoko's. A limited tranquility. A tranquility that would end one day. Putting it in those terms, it really was sad. I shook my head firmly and drove off those pointless thoughts. He is very much thinking a lot about this.
Yeah,
because
but
maybe,
I also feel like too much.
I've been there.
I guess, could it be that Satoshi sees him as a brother figure? Yes, could be. But now he's all like, oh, I have to be Satoshi. And I'm wearing Satoshi's mantle. But
No, he didn't say he has to be, but he said he's doing it.
yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm now wearing his mantle and I'm doing all of this. But that might not even be the case. She's acting based on how he's acting too. Isn't that kind of how it works? If I tease you, you tease me. Do I not tease? If I don't tease you, you respond different too.
No.
Yes.
Stop teasing me. No, but I think there is a point to this because Satoko started acting different when he happened to act kind of like her older brother.
That's normal. You act based on how someone acts towards you.
Yeah, but that is not something that necessarily clicks with you immediately. I saw this great post the other day. Forgot what people were talking about. It was on Reddit. Something like, what's something you learned in your life that really blew your mind? And then some person commented, the person that you are, that you know, is not at all the person everybody else knows. Because you know your own faults. You know all the things you believe in, that you would be doing if you got the chance, that you want to do. But everybody else around you knows you from the things you do. And doesn't have all of that extra knowledge that only lives inside your head.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think there's some truth to that here as well. Because we've been... Thanks, I didn't need a reminder of that existential trap. I didn't say that for it to come over that way. I'm saying if you ever wonder why or why not people see you a certain way, they don't know all that is happening inside of your head. Which is why, at least in my case, sometimes it's important to explain why you are doing a certain thing or why you're not doing a certain thing. Or why you feel or believe a certain thing.
Now she's becoming terse as opposed to her usual mordant idiom.
Yeah, exactly. But I understand his, I guess you would call it overthinking the whole situation. Because is it nice to be acting to each other like this? Yeah. But it didn't, to him, start until he, I guess, accidentally acted like her brother. For all we know, maybe she isn't feeling that way. Maybe she just actually really likes Keiichi, and now that for once her interactions aren't based on just banter with each other and teasing each other, she gets to live out that other side of her, which she always had, and it has nothing to do with him being in that moment like her brother. That's just how she would like to be, but didn't get the chance to because of the social construct of the situations they had met in so far.
It can be hard to get out of the banter.
Yeah, but also we can't, like the same way Keiichi is potentially overthinking these things, he cannot look into Satoko's brain to see why she is acting like this. Yeah. The only way we would know if he is overthinking it and maybe going in the wrong direction with his thoughts is if we would know what Satoko is thinking right now. But we don't, because we can only judge her based on the actions we perceive.
Yeah, that's true.
And there my argument goes full circle, Your Honor.
And you know what I perceive?
That it's warm.
Yes, it is.
But
I also see a short break. Blah, 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 blah.
Can you tell it's warm?
It
We're
is.
not being so loquacious today. I mean, our brains aren't, our mouths just can't keep up. I think Tifa was calling for a short break. BRB.
That. We're back.
We are. Ryukishi07 used to be a social worker, so he understands how children think.
Oh, that helps.
Doing quite well. I see some of myself in some of the things Keiichi is saying. I always thought I was overthinking, but maybe I'm Keiichi thinking.
What's the matter, Keiichi-san?
Sorry, it's nothing.
If it's nothing, then please don't act all strange like that. Makes me worried that you might have eaten something rotten.
Right. I'm sorry, Satoko. Nagging like always, but she still seemed really happy. That mood of hers drew me in, putting a smile on my own face. Hey, Keiichi Maebara, why don't we quit thinking about this having to end one day? If it will, then just think about it when that happens. There's one thing, however, that I could say for sure. As long as I smiled like this, Satoko's own smile would never wane. So as long as I stay this way, this tranquility would never end. Satoshi would come back one day too. That might happen a lot further away than I'd like, but until that day, what's wrong with me being a replacement for him? Saying that I'm not her real brother, so I can't become Satoshi, that was just an excuse. If I just didn't run away, Satoko would stay happy and live a fun life of annoyed nitpicking. I don't know what happened to Satoshi or what made him abandon Satoko and run away, but just seeing Satoko in such a good mood made me think I could persevere as long as I needed to. So this is what I thought. I wouldn't become Satoshi, I would become a replacement brother. This is it! This is the kind of stir fry I was waiting for. It's great. It's absolutely great. The salt and pepper in the broth, man, I could eat an entire pot of this.
Stop that, Keiichi-san. You're spilling food everywhere.
Eating Tifa's done.
That food isn't going to run away. You don't need to eat it so fast.
But the faster I eat and the more I stuff my mouth, the better it tastes. No, it will run away. The best and freshest flavors are running away from the moment the meal is completed. If you were to make 100 delicious things, then I would have a duty to taste every one of them. It's just good manners to do so.
Your feelings are more than enough, so calm down and enjoy your food.
You're right, I'm sorry. No insults here. I meekly scratched my head, then put down my chopsticks and laughed along with her like it was funny. I ended up doing most of the eating. Satoko was barely taking a bite. She seemed satisfied just by watching me enjoy the food so much. That's why she's also so small.
And where's Rika? I thought she just went home.
No, she went because she had to do something.
Oh yeah, but I thought we would still have dinner, and she just didn't come along with the groceries.
Whenever I filled my mouth with more of her delicious meals, Satoko looked glad. That let me enjoy the food even more. In this way, she kept smiling happily the whole time. Looking at her made me really happy as well. The time passed softly and gently. Before, I would have gone back and forth hurling insults with Satoko. In other words, we would have gotten into a fight right away. I'd never known I could feel such peace of mind by talking to her honestly like this. I was a little bit happy about having discovered this new side of Satoko. For example, I was eating food that Satoko had made. There wasn't an inch of me that thought it was suspicious. Before, however, Satoko would have definitely put some sort of trap into this. I think I ate too much. I'm gonna take a dump. That is just the most gentlemanly way of putting it. Oh my god, I ate my fill. Gotta shit.
Great food, now I shit.
Eat well, shit well. It's been too long since we had to say that.
No, that's true.
I hate when I eat spaghetti and bite into a bear trap. I know, right? It's the worst. And then I'm thinking, would it have tasted even better if it wasn't for all the rusty metal of that wild bear trap in there? But I will never know.
Hey, Keiichi-san, it's bad manners to say such words during a meal.
Then what should I say? I'm going to the bathroom? The toilet? The lavatory?
If you are also in a situation where... Oh, I thought we changed this command a bit. If you're also in a situation where you don't know how to say how you're going to take a dump, please go to YouTube and watch the poop presentation. You will learn all types of ways on how to say that you have to take a shit properly.
What Tifa is trying to tell you is to go to our YouTube channel and or just search my favorite letter is Y, poop, and then you will find the video. And now I never changed that command because when you talked about that it seemed like a question and not like a hey, can you do that?
In my mind we had done it.
No. That's not how things work, Tifa. Do you also do it at work sometimes? But you just sit there and you're thinking about doing the work and then you clock out and then you go, yeah, good day.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains why you're so stressed about work lately.
Is that not how it
Let's
goes?
stop doing that. Satoko looked down, her face bright red, and pointed down the hallway as if to say, just go already. Oops, my old habits seem to have come back. But yeah, this wasn't all that bad either. No weird schemes, everything is just natural. And while having such utterly unguarded thoughts, I went into the bathroom. To take the meanest shit this side of Shishibone Prefecture.
Tug.
What?
Uh-huh.
No. Tug.
That's what I said.
With you it sounds more like thug. You know, if somebody's gonna come beat you up.
Depends on how big the shit is.
Oh, Tifa.
So we could both be right.
My foot caught on something string-like. Huh? What?
We should put this over your grandma falling, or is that also too soon? Too soon, right? Too soon.
Wow.
Bang, no. Oh, rattle.
No, you can't just say shit and then immediately read your line. But no. And yes, too soon. But also it would be funny as fuck.
Bruh, I mean, gotta put some light into the situation.
Remember when we told you the story earlier? Just imagine she kind of made these sounds. Okay, now once again, without you trying to get out of a conversation you started.
Bang, slam, rattle. I don't know. I feel like that should have been you. You fell.
A kettle. A wash tub. Satoko! She got me. I can't believe her. She always does this when I let my guard down. I can't relax for a minute around her. Still, it was kind of funny and I didn't really feel like getting angry. Satoko, laughing uproariously, came over.
Uproariously?
Yeah, feeling loquacious, ain't we? Crap Queen Satoko at it again. She never left. We just misjudged her.
See? I knew you would fall for it sooner or later.
Why, you little... I let my guard down for 1 second and this is what I get. I picked up the wash tub so it had crashed into my head and went to go hit Satoko with it. But when I doubled over with the laughter that was been welling up within me, so I couldn't even manage it. I wish things could go on forever like this. It's not like I was having the most fun since coming to Hinamizawa or anything, but it was probably the first time that I'd spent my day so simply and comfortably. It really wasn't worth much. It was only a few hours after all. As an only child, it was my first taste of having a sibling. Just washing dishes with her felt really nice. Side by side we washed with the experienced Satoko doing most of the work as I threw in appropriate words to add to the conversation. The scene was so commonplace and yet so mild and warm. Maybe I had felt this kind of warmth before too in the past. I think I've stood next to the sink with my mother like this when I was little. It made me feel nostalgic when I remembered it. It was the same sort of slow, easy time. It was tranquil. Such a quiet tranquility that the fact I wasn't uneasy about anything itself almost made me uneasy. Hey, wait, Keiichi Maebara. You feel uneasy about something just from spending time so leisurely? There's nothing at all to feel uneasy about. I mean, why would I be punished for enjoying a gentle life? I do anything to keep these days going and I would never do anything bad no matter what. I'd work hard for it and endure much for it. So, God, it's not much of a dream to want this kind of thing to keep on going, but can't you grant it?
No. Is that not the telephone? Who could it be at this hour?
So, what is it? Rika is dead? Or our parents?
It's too soon. It's our mom checking in on how we're doing.
I'm sorry, but with a line like, "Oh, I would do anything to keep this calm tranquility. Oh dear God, please can't you make this come true?" The phone call is gonna be...
It's foreshadowing, but it's just gonna be our mom checking in on us.
Oh, you're right. I hadn't noticed until she mentioned it. I hurried to stand up, then ran to the phone. Who could it be at a time like this? I did feel a little like the phone had interrupted my happy moment. But I still wanted to brag about how happy the time I was spending made me, no matter who it was on the other side. Hello? This is Maebara speaking.
Hello? Keiichi? It's your mother.
No, hello Mom. What is it? It's pretty late. That was a little cold of me when she was only calling because she was worried about her son. I couldn't help but give myself a dry smile.
It sounds like you're doing just fine for yourself. I was worried that you couldn't make dinner and went to bed hungry.
Nah, it worked out.
Did you make dinner properly? What did you have tonight?
It was vegetable stir-fry, rice and miso soup. Bought stuff for it at the supermarket plus a whole bunch of side dishes just for fun. Oh yeah, listen to this. I got the pork during the sale and got it half off. The things a housewife knows, right? And also, all of that was thanks to Satoko and not something I should be proud about. But still, I couldn't help but want to boast about the dinner tonight. It seemed like Mom got the hint that I was in a really good mood.
I see. I'm so relieved that you're doing just fine. Oh yes, another thing. Your dad and I finished up with our job. We think we'll be back tomorrow afternoon or evening.
Oh, I see.
You did well for 2 nights. We've been pulling all-nighters too. It was a lot of work, but we managed to fill the gap in your dad's mentor event.
Cool. That's good. Well done. Why did my parents coming home seem so disappointing? I knew a little bit of a reason, of course. Oh, now he can spend less time with Satoko.
You can still go, hey, I'm gonna have dinner at friend's place.
Yeah, like, I get it. The easiest thing to imagine is if the situation you're in just never changes, right? But you can make the next best thing happen. You could just go, hey, is it okay if I go over to my friends and have dinner with them?
Yeah, but you can't do it like every day.
No, but every now and then. It's only been 2 nights now. He's 15. He's spent, I don't know.
But we didn't want this moment to end, remember?
Why do I think? Him, either, it's gonna be really dumb, either him not saying Satoko did all of this on the phone call with her mom is what's gonna make her go crazy in the end and kill him. It's gonna be something really, really dumb, like in chapter 2. Oh, the demon inside of me only awoke because you didn't give me that doll back then.
Who knows?
This tranquility I never wanted to end was about to end so readily, and it was a little painful. After being asked what kind of souvenir I wanted from Tokyo and replying that anything edible would be great, I put down the receiver, and Satoko appeared, having finished cleaning up her trap.
But it is a bit weird. Why didn't you say he had a friend over?
Jack's theory, Satoko is crazy because she fears losing Keiichi? Something like that, yeah. Wouldn't be shocked. Should write that down really quick before Tifa then complains about it.
Well, to be fair, you said Satoko went crazy because in this moment he didn't mention her.
Satoko...
I feel like that's different than a general fear of losing Keiichi.
/ he didn't give her credit. Whatever, she feels slighted. Better? Do you need to put that in the document too, or are you okay
I'm just saying,
it?
you said in this moment, that it boils down to this moment, which is different than a general fear. That's all I'm saying.
Isn't Tifa just so much fun to play with?
Hey, if there's one thing we have learned, is that we have to be specific with predictions.
No, we don't have to be, Tifa. We
yes,
can
we
just...
do. Because you will go, oh, Satoko kills him. And it's like, oh, I said all of this.
Okay, so do you have a counter argument that it's something else specifically at this point?
No.
Then why can't I just leave it like this?
That's fine.
Clearly
I just
not.
pointed something out. It's okay.
She gives me all of that crap and then goes, no, it's fine. Like...
Yeah, but if you want the credit for pointing it to this moment...
I'm beginning to think the !Jack command needs to get a !Tifa command version.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think so yet.
At first, Satoko was in a very good mood, but when she saw me put down the receiver with an uncertain expression, her own clouded over a bit. I'm still typing. It seemed like she'd gotten the gist of what my phone conversation had been about.
Was that your parents, Keiichi-san?
Yeah. Mom says they'll be back tomorrow.
No, that's good then. I won't have to go to the trouble of making you dinner tomorrow. And now you can enjoy your meals with just your family.
No, that's not it. When I think about the dull, plain dinner table coming back tomorrow, it's a little lonely.
You sure do live in luxury. A family sitting around the dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal of all.
Her brother Satoshi running away from home came to mind immediately. But there was no gloom in the way she said it.
It was only for 2 days, but they were very enjoyable dinners.
Well then, next time I go to your house to visit.
Huh?
Satoko momentarily made a happy smile, but then, a second later, it changed to an expression of surprise.
My house is small and it's dirty, and the kitchen isn't as good as this one.
Well, I don't mind. But, well, if you don't want to, then I won't. Satoko shook her head firmly, her whole body expressing denial. I gotta get you to teach me a whole bunch more stuff too. I finally managed to figure out how to use the rice cooker and how to cook miso soup after all.
That's right, isn't it? Perhaps we should use this opportunity to have you learn more about cooking.
It was so like Satoko to take this chance to proclaim that it was all for my sake, but there was no way to conceal her own enthusiasm. It was true that this gentle time would come to an end when my parents got back. There was no need to lament that though. I can easily put in the effort to continue our mild moments like this. Like yesterday, Sadako told me she didn't need to be escorted home. But Rika-chan wasn't with her tonight. She'd be going home by herself. Everyone knew everyone else's face here in Hinamizawa. So it wasn't like it was dangerous to go out at night, but it still wasn't good to send a girl on her way all alone. the very least, that's what I thought is Satoko's older brother. I'll take you as far as for school at least. There's more lights over in that direction anyway.
It's really fine, alright? If someone bad shows up, I'll take them down with one finger.
I somehow expected Tifa to now look at me, turn around and poke me in the ribs or something. I thank you for not doing that. Because it hurts when you do it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of it, but you're too weak to be subjected to the finger.
Subjected?
Exactly.
There was no point in pressing her any more on the subject, so I took a handful of Satoko's hair and rubbed her head vigorously.
The subject?
Yes. What?
Well, you were putting Jack in things, so I just joined you.
But you did the same thing I just did.
No, I set it to another word.
Okay. Anyway. Come on, Satoko, don't complain so much. Your Nini will bring you a part of the way there. That's what I was about to say when I suddenly got embarrassed and my voice trailed off. Nini could only ever be the nickname Satoko gave to her old brother, and nothing else. I was about to use it pretty lightly, so I started to feel apologetic and a little ashamed.
Nini.
Eh? Oh, what did Satoko just say?
Well, Keiichi-san just seems like an older brother. That is what I said. It's not quite right, but you seem kind of alike, so I just...
Oh. Now we get there.
Satoko laughed awkwardly and turned red in the face. Of course I was embarrassed when I saw her too, because the fact I was trying to act like her brother had gotten across. A warm feeling spread out from my chest. It was completely different from romantic feelings or any of those more impatient emotions. It was much more graceful, quiet and warm and calm. That is so sweet. Satoko still needed her Nini. I had initially thought Rika-chan was being sly by not coming today, but when I thought about it like this, I could feel a kind of thoughtfulness of her worrying about a good friend's feelings. Maybe Rika-chan had understood that she couldn't play the part of her brother herself, so then... No, let's stop there, Keiichi Maebara. There's no point in thinking about it so hard. It means everyone feels the same way. It means everyone wants Satoko to be happy. Satoko is acting as though her Nini running away from home didn't bother her at all, even though that wasn't actually the case. She was very sad and always waiting for him to come home. Because Satoko was a stable person when she was his sister. In order for her to really be this level-headed, having a brother was something she couldn't do without. In other words, Satoko still needed a brother. Nobody had the right to smile it away as childish immaturity. In fact, they deserved praise for being so close to each other as siblings. That role of brother should be played by her real Nini, by Satoshi, but unfortunately, he wasn't here. So, since I'm here, I'll play the part. And not with a guilty conscience, but in a very natural way. Because, was there something wrong with seeing Satoko smile so happily?
What is it, Keiichi-san? You've been smirking for quite a while now.
Oh, this is where Tomitake died.
Yep. Is it weird for me to look happy?
It isn't weird or anything, but, well...
The sound of a motor on her bike light was too loud and I couldn't hear what Satoko said.
Should I start being nice to my friends?
Yeah! What a novel concept. I need to ponder upon this.
I see no need.
Huh? What? What did you say?
Nothing.
Oh, the emotional music is kicking in?
You really are just like Nini, you know? Keiichi-san?
Is that right?
Of course, you're completely different from my real Nini. But like, there's things. Things that you do the same. It's really a mystery.
The same... Do you feel lonely when you remember Nini? Once I said that, I thought for a moment that was absolutely the wrong thing to say, but Satoko didn't seem to mind one bit.
So this is the second time where it's mentioned that we act like Satoshi do.
Yeah, and the last time we acted like Satoshi, we ended up dead.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's a subtle hint in a different way that we act like him or not.
Could be. I have no idea.
It's not that I'm lonely, since Keiichi-san is being my nini for me right now.
As I was flustered for a moment at her hitting the mark, Satoko suddenly asked me a question in a calm voice. It was very quiet, composed, and adult question.
Was it Rika?
It was quiet, but her voice sounded lonely somehow.
Didn't Rika ask you to act like my nini for me?
Is that what you think?
Please don't take offense. Rika is strangely considerate of me, but it really doesn't bother me that much.
I could say for sure that at least was a lie. Yesterday and today, Satoko had been so happy spending time like this with me as siblings. And that was proof itself that she was lying about it not getting to her. So I gave Satoko a light poke in the head. You're thinking too much, dummy. I'm me, Keiichi Maebara. I'm not your nini, not Satoshi Hojo.
I know that.
Despite her saying that, her expression seemed a little lonesome. At this point, Satoko herself had realized that her question had been the wrong thing to say. We didn't need to keep talking about something that Satoko regretted. So in order to cut the conversation short, I grabbed Satoko's head and pet her. Let's not talk about silly things like that. It's getting late, so get back home, brush your teeth and go to bed. And rinse your mouth before sleeping too. It'll keep you from getting a cold. Does it actually?
I've never heard that one before.
You're one to talk, Nini. Be sure to brush your teeth, okay? Rinse your mouth and wash your hands, and then get your books ready tomorrow, and...
I wondered what kind of siblings Satoko and Satoshi were. I've never seen them together, but I could say without a doubt that they were really close. As for the way in which they were close, it was probably quite like this. It was so cool that the day's heat seemed like a lie, and yet the moonlight was somehow faintly warm. The quiet chorus of the insects was pleasing to the ears. For once, not cicadas. Sorry, cicada potata.
They're in there too.
Cicada potata.
I love it when the grasshoppers play keyboard for me.
I would like to come up with lyrics, but it's Motifa's forte. What a wonderful My favorite part of a cicada potata is when they piss in jet streams. Now, view new tips. Also just one.
Also, you guys have mentioned that this is the longer chapter, but I feel like the episodes itself are a bit shorter. Is that just me?
So far, but I want to say that's been the case with every chapter, that in the beginning they are of moderate length or relatively short, and then they just take one.
Fair enough. Satoko's trap course.
Intermediate. What could go wrong? I could see Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun walking over to the gym storehouse. We need to get the bag of lime used to make the lines on the court for our next gym class. I know that's that white stuff, right? But in my head, I could not for a moment get the picture out of my head that they were getting a bag of limes. And when I was imagining they would like squeeze the juice out of them.
That would be going for cooking class, but...
Making drinks, like margaritas.
But it's powdered limestone. That makes sense.
They were on duty today after all. But in that storehouse, a terrible trap was awaiting them. Being on this side of a trap for once, it's really thrilling. Also, all this talk about stir fries and curries has made me really hungry.
If you realize that is the true pleasure in setting up traps, then you have the potential yourself, Keiichi-san.
Can I have a snack after stream?
I will actually. The two of them fumbled around with a gym storehouse lock. Oh? What's this? Okamura-kun pointed at part of the door and started whispering to Tomita-kun. Then, realizing something, they both jumped away from the door. Oh, Sadako, I think they found out. Did we mess up?
I had calculated that they would notice the trap at the entrance. And of course I've calculated what action they will take now.
This feels very Yu-Gi-Oh! For some reason. You know, when you've got all 5 monster cards and all 5 trap or reaction magic spell, whatever they're called cards. But then you make a move and then the enemy goes, you've activated my trap card. And then you go, no, counter spell. And then they go, yeah, but my other thing negates that. And then you go, yeah, but I negate your negation. And then they go,
your trap card activated my trap card, which went for your trap card. But I've got a trap card for that as well.
I want to say, at least in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, there was one episode where they went for 2 minutes back and forth, you activated this, but that triggered that, and the power of scripts. I was so talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I skipped my line, sorry. I played my entire deck in one turn. You lose. Actually, I think, theoretically... No, wait, let me...
We're going into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules now?
Yeah, because I never really got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they kept adding rules and made it more and more complex and then changed things, so I kind of fell out of that really quick. But Pokemon trading card game is similar in a sense, and there you have decks which revolve around the gimmick of going through your entire deck super quickly to get energy cards and all the cards you need to get really powerful really fast to outplay the opponent. And I want to say, I think in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon it's the same. If you are if you pulled the last card from your deck the next turn, you lose because you cannot pull another card.
Because you can't play anymore.
And I'm pretty sure that in both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon you can, if you are lucky with a drawing of the cards and all of your gimmicks, you can make it so that you force your opponent to keep drawing until they are out of cards. So that's a dangerous game to play with a really fast deck. Knowing me, I will run out of cards and then I'll lose. But if you're smart enough and lucky enough with the cards, correct Jack, they call it a mill type deck. Here's to mills, I guess.
An Exodia deck would work this way. If you draw all 5 Exodia monsters, you just win. But if you draw your entire deck, +1 if you deck out, you lose. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, Psycho, with your Exodia deck that I just assume you have in this situation, you win. Because, look, I got all of them.
Is there actually a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, online, with Pokemon?
Yes.
Because I never recall seeing that or even playing it.
It's on Steam as well, I believe.
Really?
Been for years, honestly.
Also, I've never seen a Master Duel.
There you go. But if you have to draw 2 cards, but you only have 1 Exodia card left, you still lose, yes. Yeah. If the turn, or if whatever happens during the turn, makes you have to draw 2 cards, you draw 1, you're out of cards, and you have to draw again, you lose. That's why a mill type deck is such a double-edged sword. Because if you're unlucky and you don't have something that makes you shuffle your
Shuffle my heart.
your hand back into your deck, then you're stuck. You have 2 hands full of cards and then you lose. I want to say there's in the official Pokemon trading card online game. I forgot the name, but it's also on smartphones.
The game we've played, if you run out, you lose.
Yeah, because that's the rule. But I want to say there is a deck that is specifically set up to have that effect. As in, you go through cards really quick, and then you also have trainer cards, item cards, that make you shuffle your hand back into the deck or into your draw pile. so that you can basically just keep going. Okay, I draw 15 cards, I need these 5, and then I play this card to put them back so that I don't lose the next turn. It's really fast paced and kind of fun if you can pull it off.
I mean, if you're looking for specific cards, that's the way.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while to go through your deck otherwise, based on luck.
Yeah, that's why I don't like trading card games, because of all the luck. Because I'm not good at that part. Meanwhile, according to Satoko, after they noticed the suspicious trap on the door, they would go around and try to get in through the back window. And just as she'd prophesied, they went around the back. And just as she'd prophesied, they climbed up, opened the window and tried to sneak in. Wow, amazing. Everything is exactly like you said. Ah, it got them.
Boof, boof!
Don't boof your poofs.
It's better to poof your boofs.
No, you should. I'm not one to tell you what to do because, look at me, you should not boof at all, I want to say. You know that's a real thing, right?
No.
What do you think boofing is? You really don't know?
No. Based on the sound effect, falling.
No, Tifa, I wish. And I'm incredibly happy that you didn't at this point come with, oh, that's the sound your grandmother makes, she boofed. Okay.
Does we make up words now? I mean, boofing does sound like a made-up word.
No, Tifa. Boofing is the thing you're doing when you consume alcohol through your rectal hole.
Boofing?
Yes.
Slurping alcohol through your booty hole.
Yes.
You made that up.
No. Google it.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it.
Google it.
Okay, where Google boofing? You said, right? Boofing. Safe boofing guide. Okay. This actually does seem...
Also known as plugging or booty bumping.
Using drugs rectally. Okay, this is actually a thing. Butt chucking.
You could also call it an alcohol enema, but of course you can also do drugs that way if that's your kind of jam.
Yeah, boofing is a slang term used to describe the process of ingesting a drug through the anus. It's also called booty bumping, hooping, plugging, butt chugging, and apparently the list goes on, but I will not click on this. And
I looked and moved that way because our headphone cable splitter had come loose. I need to refix that, Tifa. Remind me of that.
Oh.
More often, a boof means a comically large joint or spliff. I prefer that.
But the only thing though I put in is boofing, and there's nothing about that. Only rectally,
She's not very loquacious today.
Exactly. Snorting drugs through your booty hole.
Yep, that's the thing people do.
Also, it's advised not to do that, just in case any one of you here is having any ideas after this.
Yes, but it's a funny word.
Butt chugging.
How about you close that tab now, Tifa, because I feel like you're derailing the conversation.
Is poofing also something?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. Well, can't say I'm surprised, still disappointed. But you learned something today. Get it? But you learned something today?
That's actually a good one. I applaud you.
Thank you. Rectally? Why else would you say, make them cheeks clap? Her body rejects it. Boo! No,
those were pretty good. Yeah, you gotta admit that's like an 8 out of 10.
No, Psycho hit the enter before he typed the F.
Boo! Well, no, that's a word I never wanted to know the meaning of, basically.
An explosion of pure white line burst out of a window.
So wait, give me one more... Can we take a short break, just so... Because now my mind is stuck on
boofing?
On the how.
Okay, yeah, can do. BRB.
I need a short break.
BRB, and the B does not stand for boo.
I'm not sure I'm ready, but we're back.
Nobody is after this. After a few moments, the two of them managed to crawl away from the window, both of them completely white.
This is the moment I live for. It tastes like honey.
But it's limestone. But still, that was some trap. You would have had to... Please explain to everybody why I'm suddenly not reading my line and looking like that.
I don't know.
Say it, or I will.
I dropped one of the hairbands.
No, she didn't. So, if you are eagle-eyed and you paid attention to this earlier when she showed you, Tifa wasn't just playing with this stretched out old hairband, but also a not stretched out black one. And Tifa, in her infinite wisdom, I keep using that phrase today, did like the stretching it out part over on that side, out of camera frame, and suddenly it shot straight back into the wall and fell down. Didn't it, Tifa?
No, it fell straight down, as a matter of fact.
So you didn't even get a good shot in.
It's right here.
And it will stay there until the end of the stream.
It's okay, I got another.
Enjoy your drink, Dark Lord.
Cheers.
But still, that was some trap. You would have had to know everything to set up something like that. Where they'd put their hands, their legs, where they'd jump down.
Listen carefully, Keiichi-san. The first step to making a trap is to watch and observe the victim.
I thought I said absorb. You shall become me.
Don't absorb your victims, I think that's frowned upon.
Does that also fall under boofing?
Why can't we just have one normal stream of this game?
You must scrupulously predict their movement patterns, how they'll move at any given moment. If you do that, then you can achieve the greatest possible results with only the most minimal trap.
Come to think of it, before Satoko read the final move at that final moment earlier, Mion had given her high praise, saying she had the makings of a genius. So it's all about reading the opponent. So when the traps you've caught me in before, they worked because you figured out everything I do?
Yes, I can see right through all your actions, and that's how I set them up. So if one day you suddenly started having different habits and behaviors, I wouldn't be able to anymore.
I think that's the hint that we were looking for to confirm when bad things will happen.
Is it? The different patterns
Yeah.
and behaviors?
I think that's gonna become a part later on in the story of this chapter again. Why do I think in this chapter Satoko will try to murder us and may or may not succeed depending on whether we can, I don't know, break our habits?
I have a hard time on guessing if Satoko will be the one trying to do the killing or will just get killed.
Yes. I think one of the two.
I mean, yeah.
Bragging that she could anticipate everything I do? That was kind of mean. Okay then, let's play a game now. I want to test whether your predictions are accurate.
Well, that's what we have the list for.
Oh, that took me a second. Yeah, that's true. That's why you write them down.
Yes, that's fine with me. Keiichi-san, you are particularly easy to get a read on. I could do it before breakfast.
Hurtful, but possibly true. When we went back to the classroom, Satoko tore off pieces of paper and wrote something on the back of her making 3 cards. Of course, I didn't know what she'd written.
Please pick one of these cards, Keiichi-san. If you do not pick one that says you're a loser, you will win.
Great, you're on. The club has built up my sensitivity to this stuff, so I'll smash right through your predictions. Satoko smirks and holds out the 3 cards. Set your mind to full power by calming it, Keiichi Maebara. Cool and collected is how you'll win.
All cards of them say you're a loser.
Yeah, of course. That's what I would do. If I don't pick the losing one, I'll win. Which means if I do pick it, Satoko will win. In other words, Satoko wants me to pick the losing one. What would she do to make sure I picked the losing one? Could she even predict something like that? Statistically speaking, isn't there some rule that says I'm more likely to pick the one in the middle or the ones on either side? And then it hits me like a flash. This is what Mion would do.
Now, which one will you pick?
I've made my decision. And it is this one!
That sounded so weird. Huh? Ah! Well, what are you doing?
I steal all 3 cards from Satoko's hands. I predicted what Satoko would do in advance. Satoko wanted to make sure I picked the losing one, which meant all 3 of those were the losing ones. And that's how I knew. Allow me to look at all 3. I flip all 3 cards face up, and on each one there is a single word. You're a loser. What is this? You're a loser. Huh?
It means just what it says. If you had only chosen one, you wouldn't have lost.
What? But you predicted that I'd draw all 3? Gah! Trails off as he fades into nothingness. You know the anime shot where the energy blasts you, you turn white, and then slowly the outline of a character evaporates into the blast?
Team Keiichi's blasting off again.
Twinkle. I held my head in my hands and fainted as Satoko reveled at the might of her abilities. Her shrill laughter echoed throughout the classroom. And then there was a poof as the lime powder came down upon Satoko's head. I looked to see Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun all in white dumping a whole bag of lime powder on her, getting their revenge.
It's probably all over the classroom now.
Yeah.
Well, what are you suddenly trying to do, you two?
Looks like there's no use talking to the person who set up that trick.
Well, excuse me. Would you happen to have any proof? And I'd like it if you didn't call it something so inelegant, a trick. I would prefer you call it something more refined. A trap, please.
That being said, these two pretending to be tough, not only that, but standing still completely blank and silent. But anyway, ignoring what happened before, having someone chase you with their mouth full of lime in such a way that they can't even speak, yeah, that would be scary even for Satoko.
Nick! Keiichi-san, help me!
They got their mouths full of the stuff too? Our underclassmen crashed around the classroom in furious combat, getting white lime everywhere. Hey, Satoko? Why couldn't you see this coming exactly? At the time I hadn't seen something coming too though. The teacher coming to me afterward and giving us all a stern talking to. Deserved. Good luck cleaning all of that up. Annoying.
I forgot this was still the tip.
Mm-hmm. Dum dum dum.
Oh, really? Your parents came home, huh?
They smelled like energy drinks and their eyes were all bloodshot. I said they had a crazy amount of stuff to do and were up 2 whole nights in a row. Adults have it tough.
Your dad is an artist, right? They really do have it rough.
Come to think of it, he was, wasn't he? I would very much like to see what kind of things he draws sometimes.
An artist, huh?
Same.
I've seen a number of watercolor and acrylic paintings on display, but he had to have been doing some other job too. Just what did that do exactly? He didn't let anyone into his workshop after all. I wanted to sneak a peek one day. Wait a minute. It's the parents. It's the parents, isn't it?
How about you elaborate a bit?
The reason all of this stuff is happening, it's Keiichi's parents.
And how?
He is allegedly an artist. Keiichi never has seen his work. Ever.
Yeah.
They have a separate entrance to the house specifically for the rooms he works in.
It's very suspicious.
And whatever it is they needed to do, they need to leave instantly when somebody calls them. And it can be so bad they have to go for 48 hours straight. Now, I'm not an artist and I don't know any artists outside of Tifa, who sometimes comes up with word and sound creations that do border on artistry.
It is a
But
skill.
I don't know, I think they're somehow in on this. Like, they're part of a murder.
I mean, I find it hard to say still. I think it's also convenient plotting. Also, I'm quite sure we already had the parents being involved, because we mentioned that in chapter 1. Also, Dark Lord, have fun with your D&D group. Thanks for hanging, and
Yes, please.
see you soon.
I wish you all the net 20s you can roll. Do not throw quick lime at your friends, it can dehydrate your skin and stuff. Ew. That's not fun. But I don't think he's actually an artist. I think he's in some shady shit.
I mean, yeah, but we've suspected the parents being in on it for a while already.
Also, I think the whole being an artist is also something you could... Oh, that the people who do the Watanagashi stuff would consider themselves. Because, I mean, I don't agree that you should torture and disembowel other people, but learning all the steps and the procedures on how to do it the way they described, that could be mistaken as artistry.
Yeah, but whether they see it like that themselves, I don't necessarily think so. But I don't think that also really matters, whether they consider it art or not.
Is Maebara like an acronym for something? An anagram? Acronym? Anagram.
Oyashiro-sama.
No. Maebara. Don't know enough Japanese.
It could also just be convenient ways to get the parents away and have these moments happen. So every single time something happens, his parents are conveniently not there.
At some point, Tifa, convenience dies.
Yeah, I'm still not certain. Like, we've discussed the parents being in on it a few times as one of the more important families, for example. That's how they come into play. That they're in on things.
I don't know.
But for now, it still feels like convenience sake.
It seems like too much of a recurring theme that they just suddenly have to disappear. Nobody knows what they're actually doing for this not to become a super important plot device.
Yeah, I agree. The fact that we don't actually know what he's doing is probably something. But without them conveniently leaving the house, all of the moments we have had in there wouldn't have happened either.
Yeah, which is why I wouldn't be shocked if it turns out he's like a Yakuza grunt for the Sonozaki family.
Like, convenience sake in stories is sometimes very handy plot creation device.
Oh well. We won't know for a couple more chapters, I guess.
I think so as well. So the house was empty for 2 days after all that?
Again, I'm typing in my OneNote file with a prediction.
That didn't leave much time.
Much time for what?
So, I have no clue. Kei-chan, did you manage to go after the character who was in your heart? Wait, what? Did we miss some lines?
Why is she breaking the fourth wall this hard? It's 85. Wait. I can't believe I'm actually gonna Google this. 1 second. I'm going into incognito mode. When was the first eroge published? 1982. Eroge is a Japanese erotic video game. The earliest known commercial erotic computer game is PSK's Lolita Yaki-Yuken, released in 1982. Okay, so potentially assuming that the Maebaras do have a computer, and this is, what was it, 83?
I don't remember.
87? In the 80s, after 82, there is a chance he could be playing porn games. Yeah, okay. Or Mion would have knowledge about them.
Even though none of them seem to have a computer.
Not the point.
Kei-chan, did you manage to go after the character who was in your heart? The absence of parents is a must-have for eroge protagonists. He built up a lot of relationship points and raised all the right flags.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
Well, Rika is talking about Satoko. That means you don't need to cook for yourself anymore, Keiichi-kun. What did you make last night?
In the end, I didn't make a single thing myself. Last night's dinner, well, it was vegetable stuff, right?
Wow. Kei-chan, you can make a little bit of real cooking now, huh? You made vegetable stir-fry? Did it come out good? Did it?
Reina-san, you're being unpleasant. Why are you clinging to me?
If only real relationships worked like that with quick saves. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
No, wait. I want to raise my own charisma. Or maybe take a point off of the charisma now and put it to being cute.
I am very happy that genetically my parents hit refresh so many times my stats came out all garbled. But apparently most of them in luck, because how else would I have ended up with teeth?
Very sweet.
That was pretty smooth.
Yeah, it's adorable. Very precious.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, quick saves would be handy.
Quick saves also in other moments in life, like before bungee jumping. Or if you go into a casino and you're making bets. Or I cannot think of a single reason not to want quick saves IRL. That'd be so handy.
I think if everyone had quick saves, the whole world would go mad. Like, we would never be able to continue forward, because you kind of have to make a quick state of the entire world.
A what? A safe state?
A safe state of the entire world in that moment that you have to go back to. And then we'll never go forward, because the entire world keeps going back to their safe state.
Spoilers, not spoilers, but if you actually get deep into the Elder Scrolls, you will get to a point where you learn that there is an actual in-universe, in-lore explanation for why you as a player can do the things that you can do. And when I first learned about this, I thought that's pretty amazing. I don't know if many other games do that. The fuck? Yeah, wait. So, quick spoilers. For real, yes. For everybody that doesn't want spoilers about the Elder Scrolls lore, now is your moment. Spoilers. It's called Chim. C-H-I-M in all caps. Chim, not chin, but Chim. In the Elder Scrolls, there is a concept that because of how the universe and existence is set up in the universe of the Elder Scrolls, you are able, or people are able to break out of reality and to understand that they are part of it, but they can also influence it. Which is why there technically is, if you want to think that way, they never tell you like outright like, oh yeah, your character has achieved Chim and that's why you can reload saves. That's like the meta explanation for why you can do the things you can do. Same with modifications. The idea being, you as the entity experiencing the game have become so connected with everything, but at the same time realize your own self within the grand scheme of things, that you can affect that change through pure willpower, also known as pressing the escape button and saving the game, or loading it, or installing a modification, stuff like that.
So basically our willpower isn't high enough to save state.
If you want to reapply that logic to real life, I guess, yeah. I'm trying to chim every day under the shower, but it hasn't worked so far. Yeah. The Elder Scrolls, at least up until they got rid of some of their main writers, had some really, really amazing lore. Just the main games necessarily don't really do much with that. So, there you go.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, you should read up on the Morrowind lore specifically. That's like my favorite part. But anyway.
A delicious meal and friendly dishwashing together. Oh, how nice, how nice.
No.
Hey, I said you're being unpleasant.
What are you talking about?
Mion, utterly confused, asked me for clarification, but I just barely, albeit transparently, averted my eyes.
Right. Does anyone have plans for this afternoon? You don't, do you? Do you?
I guess not anymore. Today was Saturday. A beautiful day on which we were liberated from the confines of school in the afternoon. Actually, the school in Hinamizawa had a slightly different Saturdays than those in the city. There are a lot of students here who brought a bento, ate it at lunch, and then went to play in the school or around the schoolyard.
In the Netherlands, that is Wednesday.
You have a whole day for that? What?
No, but on Wednesday, till the point where you go to college, the schools before that go until 12.
Okay.
And then you have the afternoon off. Wednesday is half a day.
But why?
I don't know.
Don't you have things to learn? When does the school day usually start in the Netherlands?
9.
When does it end?
4, I believe. I don't remember.
Okay, alright. I see it then, because I was gonna say, when do you get all of your classes? But at least my school back then, the day started at 8. That was the first period. And the last one would go until 3.
So basically the same.
No, you haven't. Wait, you said 9 to 4, right? Or 9 to 5?
9 to 4.
Yeah.
Quite sure I started at 9.
But I want to say, like, usually our days were shorter. I want to say I had for 1 year, it was Mondays where we had until 3. And then all the other days it would be like 13:30 or 2:15 or something like that. So we didn't have a half day because on average our days were shorter.
Okay, no, we only have the half a day on Wednesday and all the other days are full days.
Yeah, okay, then that evens out.
Within our lunch break.
Yeah. I think 30 minutes for the recess, the long break. And like every couple hours, in between classes, like 15 or 10 minutes, something like that. It's been too long since I went to school. Not that I miss it, but... You could say that the entire school turned into a children's playground. There are mountains behind the school, and if you went down that way, you'd find mountain streams. You could avoid the strong sunlight and make conversation in the classroom if you wanted to. You could also play hide and seek in the construction pipes. Of course, you were free to go home as well. There were some kids who went home and helped water the fields or tended to stores. If Mion was bringing up the afternoon like this, then it must have been for some crazy big club event. However, sadly, I had something I needed to do before taking part in whatever it was.
You have work? That's unlucky.
We have work.
I wonder what kind of work it is. Maybe helping his father with his artwork job.
Or being a model for his father's art? A model? A nude one?
I looked into Reina's eyes and saw myself completely naked in a questionable pose with a single rose in my mouth? No! I wouldn't do that for 1,000,000 yen. I would. To get rid of Reina's delusions, I grabbed her head and swung it from side to side.
I mean, he has worse thoughts. Remember them walking around as dogs with colors and BDSM outfits?
Yes. Yes.
Then I want to say this is...
But hey, puberty, right? Hormones.
Yeah.
No king shaming.
Stop!
You're making the thoughts go out of my head.
I want to think more about you naked with a rose.
Sorry. Leaving your fanciful delusions aside, I have something to do real quick during lunch. I'm okay to meet up with you after I'm done though.
Work during lunch? I see. That sounds kind of cool actually. What could it be? Are you having a banquet with VIP experts? Like a business lunch?
Were you going to say Bayonetta?
No.
Because it sounded like you were going that way.
Baguette.
A baguette can be a banquet.
Can be part of it, yeah.
This is truly sad, but you're right.
What?
Everyone shouts wildly, surprised.
I'm surprised too. So what is he having?
A baguette. That's what you said. Oh. Okay, that was fast. It was true. Today I'd be on the job with my family. For my dad's job, he was having about 10 people from the publishing agency over for a house party. He called people from work for a party the day after having stayed up 2 nights in a row. I'm amazed at their vitality. Adults have it pretty rough. Of course, it would be incredibly uncomfortable for me. It'd be really tiring to have to force myself to smile at some old dudes I didn't know. But they were my dad's important business connections, so offending them would be bad. Well, with all that said, I was going to get very uncomfortable for me today. Well, with all that said, it was going to get very uncomfortable for me today starting at lunch.
Why does he have to be there anyway?
As the house slave, servant, waiter, I guess?
Having the plate of cheese. Well. What an intelligent child!
And this is my son, Keiichi. Keiichi, this is Honda-san, he's a publisher. And this person here is Inori-san, who works as a printer. Say your hellos. Hello, my name is Keiichi. I appreciate all you've done for my father.
Keiichi-kun, do you draw pictures like your father does? I would very much like to see them.
Okay, 100% it's hentai. 100%. And like,
I do wonder if we're going to find out.
One of them works at like the fish market. So whenever he needs like details for the poses of an octopus, he drops by their place. I'm sorry, tentacles are a thing in hentai.
Yeah,
it's a staple,
right, yeah.
like miso soup for dinner.
And in Mario.
And Mario?
And in Mario.
Oh,
Tentacles were a big thing in the last game.
Yeah. Is there a connection with? Exactly, Psycho. My dad had such a brazen occupation, that of an artist. Although, I don't really know what kinds of things he creates. I don't really care and don't want to see anyway. Dad's so tight-fisted about it, so he doesn't show them to me very often anyway. I'm not a kid anymore, so I wouldn't care at all if there were pictures of naked ladies or anything.
If you study under your father as an apprentice, you'd be able to become a great artist like him too.
Excuse me, this is just between you and me, but my dad, is he really that great of an artist? I readied myself and whispered my question. Might have seemed odd for his son to be asking this, but when I did, he gave me this really strange grin and tightly clamped down onto my shoulders.
Yes! He is truly a fantastic artist!
Is that so? I'm glad to hear it.
There are no purchase restrictions. He does fan service, and he always answers the letters he gets. He has an inquisitive mind, always on the prowl for what the world needs. Okay, yeah, it has to be. Taking off your socks? Absolutely not. And that goes for glasses and school uniforms too. Maebara sensei understands these things perfectly. It has to. Every event sees him along the wall with a huge lineup. So he's a mangaka?
I don't know how I would feel if my dad did porn. Or drew porn. I don't know which one is worse.
Don't think I would have an issue with it, but
I
like to see it.
What?
I mean, wouldn't you be curious on what your dad does exactly?
No, I would not want to see my dad perform in adult entertainment.
And I don't think he is in it. I don't think he's a porn star.
No, but that's what I said.
Oh, like that. I thought you were still talking about his art. Did you want to take a peek?
No, not necessarily. If my dad drew porn, no, I don't think I would want to see it. At this point in my life, I'd be okay with like accepting that because like, you know, whatever. Somebody needs to do it. But I wouldn't want to see it. What if I don't like it? What if it's stuff I find really questionable? What if I do like it? That's even worse somehow.
Help! My dad is a porn star and I love his art.
Help, I can't unsubscribe to my dad's OnlyFans.
Well, if you like it, then you have free access, I assume. If you don't, then you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, no. I'm very happy I don't have to ponder these questions myself.
But if my dad was an artist, like in this case, I would like to see what he does. And then you can still decide is this something you want to keep seeing or not.
The thing is, I'm too much of a chicken. I would be too worried it's something I wish I could unsee but never will be able to.
I'm too curious. It doesn't matter, I will always want to see.
And that's the difference between us. I'm the one that goes, some things are better to not know. And Tifa's like, no, give it to me.
I want to know it all. And then I will think about, do I regret knowing, yes or no? I don't think there's ever really been a case where I actually thought, oh, I regret seeing this or knowing this.
Oh, many times in my life. Many times.
Like, I always know I will regret it more if I didn't see it.
No. In hindsight, I've had that multiple times, and I'm not going to tell you these stories now because they're actually really sad. No.
Like, I would want to see. I would ask this dude now to show me, since my dad doesn't.
Is it?
If I had a smut I like is made by my dad and I can't stop. That sounds like a legit title for an anime.
Yes. Or a Jerry Springer episode. I'm thinking, is it? I'm not talking about does it happen because I'm pretty sure it does all the time. But isn't there a legal case about showing pornography to an underage kid? Even if it's like a manga.
I don't really think so.
I mean, the sale is prohibited, there's age restrictions. So I think there has to be some sort of like threshold. I will Google that later.
In this case,
You're not allowed to. Yeah, I mean, so they wouldn't, right? They shouldn't.
Even in a case like this, I don't think there is something against it.
You're still not allowed to. I'm pretty sure you can get into some deep shit for showing pornographic imagery to.
What if it's take your kid to work day? What? But yeah, sitting them down and going like, here, watch this porn VHS that I've had.
Tifa, please!
I mean, I get that that's different, but if his father is drawing manga and he just goes, hey, this is my work, I don't think that's illegal.
No lawyers are present. Actually, forget it. I don't need an answer to that question. I'm good not knowing. I'll just assume no, you shouldn't. If you're trolling, then this is S tier trolling.
Yeah, but in the best situation, you would also know what your dad draws.
Why does she keep going?
We don't have to figure it out. If anything, he doesn't need to show anything. He just goes, hey, I draw erotic manga. Dot.
Press A. This seems less like a suggestion, more like a desperate help plea.
No, but I'm serious. You wouldn't hide that to your teenage kid.
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't just go, hey, I draw.
No. Because even if my kid, even if I knew like my 50... First of all, there's the whole legal issue. Second of... Yeah, I know that makes your head turn.
No, what's the legal issue about saying you draw it? To your own kid?
You said show.
No, I said draw. I said in the best case, you just go, hey, I draw erotic manga. You don't need to show it, you just say you draw it. Okay. But then you, as the son, knows what it is your dad does.
Then I would still consider not doing it, depending on how I know my child acts or reacts to things like this. Because I'm pretty sure if he then were to tell his classmates and one of them would talk about this, there would be a whole stigma about all of this. Not to even go into potential tons of bullying about your dad does porn. I don't need that. I don't think my child needs that in their life.
Fair.
I can tell him when he's like, I don't know, out of high school, like setting up to go to college or whatever. And then he is probably in a place in his life where he doesn't worry about that as much. Or he is a better judge of character and whether to share that with other people.
I guess.
I'm not a parent, so...
I mean, the same, I won't be in this situation, but still.
I'm sorry, but his pictures, they're not the ones you hang on the wall.
Not at all. In the beginning, everyone starts in the islands, and then to their corners, and finally climbing up to the corners of the larger paths. What does this mean? The final destination is the famous wall. You too. Please become a great artist who can display his works in unison with Maebara-sensei. I'll cheer you on.
Wait, I think I understand this.
It starts with an island, he said?
It's a Comic Cat slang. The wall is a place, I guess. When you go to those conventions where you can then sell your hentai manga that you made.
Okay.
I think it's about the placement.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know, and I'm not gonna keep Googling that because...
Okay, so it seems safe.
It's pretty much confirmed that he is drawing art for the so inclined of age mind.
Okay. Safe to assume, it seems. Okay.
It's fine to have a lot of passion for the things you like, but...
You're not in the game.
Again.
Yeah.
I didn't get it, but it seemed that the world of art ran pretty deep. It was probably a much deeper world than I could have imagined. I decided to leave that, but then I realized my mom was calling me from the other side of the room. I realized she's calling me from the other side of the room. How big is this house?
Well, if you're lost in thought or in a conversation.
Yeah.
Keiichi! It's the phone! It's a friend of yours.
A lucky break. Maybe I could get out of this uncomfortable business party by using a friend's phone call as an excuse. I scampered over to her front door and snatched up the receiver my mom had left there. Hello? It's me.
Hello, me. That's not how you answer the phone, Keiichi-san. I implore you learn how to choose your words more properly.
Moshi moshi. I was of the opinion that the person speaking to me had far stranger way of talking. Oh, it's Satoko. It's unusual for you to call my house.
This isn't the time for pleasantries.
I'm not calling your house. I'm trying to call you, Keiichi.
Keiichi-san, when are you going to be able to come?
Sorry. It looks like this is going a bit long. I can't get them to let me go. I want to go do things with the club now, but...
That's not it, Keiichi-san. It wasn't about the club today. It's a real battle.
Satoko's voice was different from normal. I could feel the urgency in it drifting through the phone. A real battle? That doesn't sound good. What's the situation?
I will explain the particulars when we meet. Anyway, this is a terrible crisis. At this rate, we're going to lose.
What on earth was going on? Could have been a fight. I didn't know who they were, but laying a hand on someone from Hinamizawa was an absolutely terrible idea. Right, got it. I'll come and reinforce you right away. Where are you at?
We're on the Okinomiya Elementary School campus. There are signs at the station, so you should be able to figure it out. Anyway, we're in a huge hurry.
The school campus? The situation could have a lot of people involved. Could have turned into an all-out brawl. Who was the enemy here anyway? Oh, I'm on fire! Got it. I'll be there soon. Should I bring a weapon with me? Like a metal baseball bat or something?
You have a metal bat? That would be fantastic! We will wait for you here.
The call cut off abruptly. I needed to hurry. Oh, Keiichi. I was looking for you. Deguchi-san here was hoping that for his next doujinshi. Now is not the time. Don't we have a bat? A metal bat? If not, then anything long will do. If anything long will do, then my golf clubs in the storage room. It didn't have to... Can't read anymore after all of that, like... weird thoughts being flooded into my brain thanks to somebody.
Hmm?
Yeah, exactly, I blame you.
Oi.
What do you mean, oi?
Oi.
Do you not remember the conversations we've had today?
Yes, sir.
Whoever's tickling the ivories, this is a banger of a song. It didn't have the same kind of impact, but a golf club was a splendid weapon too. It was lighter than a baseball bat and maybe easier for me to use. Thanks. I'm borrowing one. I really need to go see my friends for something. It's urgent. Sorry. What? Keiichi? Wait a minute. What exactly did he want Keiichi for his next doujinshi? Because I don't like it.
Well, let's save here.
No. This is the worst spot.
No, this is a good spot.
This is a horrible spot.
It's a good spot. Why is this horrible? You really want to unfold in whatever is going on.
A little bit.
There's no little bit. There's all or nothing.
I grabbed the golf club, jumped on my bike and headed straight for town. Wait for me, Satoko. I'll be right there. Just hold out until then. I didn't actually know where Okonomiya Elementary was exactly, but Satoko's phone call seemed to demand urgency, so I rushed out without asking her how to get there. But if I went to the station, there would be signs. At least I feel like that's what she said. Then I heard the jingling of a bicycle bell from behind me.
Hello there.
Hey, Rika-chan.
Keiichi, you came quickly. You put the pedal to the metal.
Damn! This isn't the time to be out of breath. I need to hurry. Sorry. Where's Okonomiya Elementary?
I'll show you the way. Come along with me.
Rika-chan rode off on her bike. I followed her. Satoko suddenly called me out here, but what on earth is going on anyway?
At first, we had the advantage. However, they called in a helper. It's bad manners.
A helper? What cowards calling for reinforcements the minute they realize they lose?
What's it gonna be? Because it's not a battle.
Softball.
Oh, that's why the battle is good.
Something like that.
They're taking everyone out one by one. We can't put a dent in them.
Sounds like they were pretty strong. Anyway, I'll ask about it later. We don't have time, right? Please hurry.
Leave it to me.
With Rika-chan leading the way, we headed straight for the elementary school grounds. I asked Rika-chan something during that time. It seemed that all of the club members besides me were a part of his fight. Damn, so what Mion was trying to tell everyone was that this would happen? If I had known that, I would have just ditched my family job. But it was too late for regrets. According to Rika-chan, we had one-sided advantage at the start, but our angry foes had brought in a powerful ally. The club members put up a resistance and went against them one by one, but apparently they couldn't stand up to them. The combined efforts of the whole club couldn't win? Just what kind of monster is this guy?
He's gonna get so grounded. He's amazing. This enemy is orthodox.
Orthodox? So they weren't using thuggish brawling tactics, but had actually studied karate or something? Is that what you meant?
Keiichi is our last ray of hope now.
Okonomiya Elementary came into view. I could hear many voices raising hell over there. Whoa! Mion! Reina! Satoko! I'll be there soon! I'll crush them all at once!
It has to be some game.
This is the moment to save. I too want to know what's gonna happen, but that's the beauty of a cliffhanger.
Could have had the whole build-up.
Yeah, now we can have the build-up during the recap next time. There you go. You can still hear the...
He's gonna get so grounded.
I hope so. Then again, did he really do something that bad? I mean...
Running out without an explanation, yes. And if he truly believes it's a fight, why would he go in there alone?
Yeah...
With a golf club.
I mean, better than without a weapon.
Willing to kill someone with that thing.
Nobody said anything about killing.
I'm sorry, if you hit someone with a golf club in the head, there's a high chance that will not end up well. Why else would you bring a golf club?
Yeah, you have a point.
He was bringing a metal bat to what he believes is a fight. What is this, hooligans?
As a deterrent. Never to use as a weapon, just to go, my stick is bigger than yours and I'm not afraid to use it. I'm just saying, just because, I mean, I don't like it either, but it doesn't mean that they have to be using that stuff.
Oh, my stick is better than, or bigger than yours. That's a good title for next week.
I'm pretty sure you can't have a Twitch stream with a title, my stick is bigger than yours.
I'm quite sure you can.
Can we not hold hands and talk it out? That is my preferred way of doing it. I believe every single video game that gives you the ability to move freely and stuff, that has combat, should also have a pacifist route. That's why I love the Metal Gear Solid games so much, and that's why I also like the Deus Ex games, at least the last two.
I talk things out better when my fist is in your face.
The reason I need to use my fists to talk to you is because I'm a ventriloquist. I let these do my talking. Deus Ex HR, Pog! I loved that game when it came out. I remember that leaking on the internet shortly before release, and then people playing the shit out of it and loving it and talking about it. And when the game came out and then again people loved it. To this day, I believe that sometimes, at least sometimes, when games or movies or whatever leak on the internet, it was on purpose. I'm sorry.
It can create a hype.
That is such a simple, effective, possibly effective way to drum up hype for free.
Yeah.
And I want to argue, I mean, I understand the argument about like, oh, if somebody pirates a video game, they're not going to give us money. But I want to say that a lot of people, not all of them probably, but a lot of people, if they get the chance to play the game illegally but for free, and they do enjoy it, that they do support you when they have the means to do so. Even played the Wii U version. I did
It came
not...
out on the Wii U.
Yeah, they released it on the Wii U as well. I didn't play that. I was so disillusioned with the Wii U at this point. There are a few games I bought multiple times. My number one remains Bayonetta.
I think we got that 6 or 7 times.
Twice on the PS3 for the 2 different limited editions. Then on the Switch.
The Wii U. We bought a Wii U just for Bayonetta 2.
2 times on PS3, on the Wii U because Bayonetta 1 and 2, then on the Switch and then on PC. I owned 5 copies of Bayonetta. I've sold 3 of them. Yeah. I think that's the single most one. Unless maybe like Super Mario World or Super Mario 64. Like Super Nintendo, Wii, Switch. Yeah, a couple of games. A couple, but I think Bayonetta with 5 is the most.
Some games are worth rebuying.
There are some developers where I don't mind supporting them like that. But they are few and far in between. It's not like I go and buy every game immediately.
And it also depends on the price. I mean, it's not like we paid $60 for every copy.
Yeah, my backlog and all the games I'm playing, it's so enormous that, I don't know, I want to say average, I wait till the game is like 60-75% off on Steam or whatever, and then I buy it, maybe more. I don't think I've paid even half the MSRP for most games I ever bought, because I wait for sales.
On Steam, no, but when it comes to like Switch games...
Yeah, but even then there are like places that sell Switch games for like $44-42. And then if you go to a brick and mortar store, it's like $59.99 now on sale. It's like... I mean, I know you can do that and you will find people that buy that, but I can literally, in your store, use your Wi-Fi to go to a legitimate online retailer. Not even talking about Amazon. But I can go to a website and buy the same game for $42. Even with shipping, even if I just order this one game with like $6 shipping, it's cheaper than buying it in the store right now.
Quite often, unfortunately.
I gotta make money too, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
Hey Tifa, are we gonna play that other game on Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, might as well.
Should we give people a little hint what we're gonna play next to Higurashi starting next week?
Just say it.
Nah, I wanna give a hint though.
I would just say it, but if you want to give a hint, also fine.
I mean, you'll see it tomorrow in the schedule, but if you want to...
I think you might as well.
It's a little teaser. Nah, don't tell. I won't tell, but I'll give you a hint. Are you ready? Wait. Me.
That's the hint. There you go.
Wah, wah, wah. There you go.
It's
You're
basically
welcome,
telling the game.
Kind of. But still.
So yeah, we will be playing that Tuesday and Wednesday starting next week.
Yes.
And then Higurashi we will continue Friday and Sunday.
Exactly. And once the schedule is out tomorrow, you'll know what wah exactly is. There you go. I am looking forward to it, and
Great
I'm
hints.
not looking forward to it because I have some fond memories of the game and some very unfond ones.
We're so good. It's gonna be fine. No doubt.
Yeah. And I've removed the frustration part. So that's gonna be it. Yoshi's Island, you will have to wait until the schedule to see. Maybe.
Got any more words of wisdom before we call it a night?
No. Damn! I mean, I told you I won't tell you until the schedule is out. Even if you were right. Just saying. Wisdom, talking about little cows and little cows. Yes. Talking about... we only talk about... Exactly. My mind is doing like somersaults. Talking about unimportant things, but cows are important though. Exactly. Did I add the thing in the brackets or did you do that back then?
I'm quite sure that was you.
Yeah, because cows are super important. I saw a video of this cute little baby cow earlier today on Reddit. It was adorable. I was like,
That was really cute.
And do you see this? This is cute crying, not cute aggression, but cute crying. When I think about cute things, I don't go, oh, I don't go, meepa, I don't go, meep, I go, so cute.
The ugly crying.
Yeah, and I don't know why my body does that, but cute things make me cry.
Understandable then.
That's why every day before stream I go through 2 packages of tissues before we can actually start streaming, because I get to sit next to Tifa all the time.
I kind of saw that one coming, but it's still really cute.
Yeah, I realized when I said cute things make me cry, I have to say something about you. Because otherwise you or somebody else gonna go, oh, but she isn't crying on stream. Oh my god, he said Tifa isn't cute. Yes, she is.
I would not have been offended.
I preempted that. So if I ever get into a fight with you, I pull up a pic of a puppy. Yeah.
It will probably work, yes.
Baby cows work best, I think. Yeah. Or cats. Cats like being like scritched and petted and then you're like, meh. That's also pretty cute. Yeah. Or just show me a picture of Tifa. And then I'll just start crying, bawling my eyes out.
Wait, you can take a screenshot.
The cutest pic ever taken. I love how...
I think that will do it in every fight.
I don't know if the microphones picked it up, but the sound my tongue made when I just did that. Yeah, that's gonna be our sexy pics to break up fights. Tifa, please press the button before we say more weird things that get us into trouble eventually. Thank you everybody for dropping by and witnessing Higurashi with us. We'll be back on Tuesday with wah, wah. See you then. Bye.
Thank you.